taking the online race broadcast performance to the next level. This is the Full Velocity Network.
We are live on a Thursday evening. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Full Velocity Network, live here tonight at the Talladega Super Speedway. Hanging out with our friends from the ASRNR2K3 Racing League here tonight. Great bunch of guys. David Chin, Gary Mingus, a whole cast of characters that call ASR home, and thrilled to be over here live tonight. Flag-to-flag coverage, the Super Speedway Challenge from Talladega. We're going to go 94 laps around the 2.5 mile we know and love, and we're thrilled to have you all aboard this evening. Thank you out there, everybody in YouTube land, for tuning in this evening. My name is Phil Lacasse, along with Todd Stanton and Joe Allen, as always, at the controls for us here on FVN, and he pretty much did a really bang-up job getting this show on the air. Todd, a little bit earlier, than a lot of us anticipated. An 8 o'clock start on a Thursday night, a little behind the 8 ball here, but these guys are already in qualifying mode, and we've been at Talladega 100 times, and 94 laps around should be a good show.
Yeah, it should be a fantastic show. Another show that I've circled on my calendar. I love coming over here and visiting these guys. These guys put on a whale of a show each and every time. Aero 88 mod here tonight to a little bit of a throwback kind of feel here tonight. And that's one of those things. I love seeing these schemes on these older type style cars, Phil.
Oh, absolutely. Aero 88 mod always brings out some of the great racing out there. Cool to see the old school looking mod, some of these old school looking paint jobs. And as Todd said, a really old school feel to the Super Speedway Challenge here, the old Talladega TR track. Joe Allen, we've been here many, many a times before. We kind of know what to expect here at Talladega. And these guys at ASR always do a great job. And they treated us really great with hospitality here tonight. Ready to go for 94 laps around.
Oh yeah, first trip over here is FVN with these guys, and I can't be more excited to go out and do it. It's going to be a whole lot of fun, and they got a great crowd out here tonight for our first event over here live on the Full Velocity Network. Some familiar faces and some new faces to us on here, so hopefully get some guys some well-deserved spotlight time that I know they're going to be looking for, and anticipate these guys to put on a great show. 50% race, so we got a long one in store for us here tonight. The old Aero 88 mods. Anybody that's ran these things knows that the mod race is fantastic. The hitboxes are a little quirky sometimes as far as when these guys may try to bump draft one another, but some fast times out there. I believe this is one of the no plate versions of the track, possibly. I could be wrong there. I know they had two different TR versions they had up for download. I don't remember which one exactly it is they're running here tonight, but regardless, I think we're all anticipating some awesome racing, and I know these guys are excited. This has been scheduled and circled on all of our calendars here for several months now, so these guys have been chomping at the bit to get it out there and get it done, and I know we're all super excited to do it with them as well.
Yeah, and hats off to you, Joe. I know you did a whole lot of preparation, through remote desktop from your work today. So great job getting this event on the air. I know you just recently ran in the door and basically got us up on the airwaves. So kudos to you as always. And great racing league we got here tonight. These guys at ASR, you can find these guys at their home website, ASRNR2K3.net. These guys race about 7 nights a week, many a mod, so check these guys out. But we're about to put this thing under green flag for 94 laps, so as always, before we do so, let's do a trackside for playing of tonight's national anthem. All right, back at the Talladega Super Speedway, ready to get us rolling here for 250 miles, 94 circuits around. A great group of cars out here this evening. Going to call this green flag for 94 laps. And, well, I guess we're going to have a little delay in the action here, as I guess last-minute preparations are being made for these guys. So we'll have a couple of more minutes here. I believe they're going to do another 5-minute happy hour session. So it's just going to give these guys, one last check to go in there and test and tune and do all these last minute adjustments these guys have to do. 94 laps is a long time, and you got to make sure things are just right here. But Joe, while we got a little break in the action, we're going to send Todd up to speak with race control, make sure these guys are all kind of sorted out and going away. Now they're gonna get back to it. They've all got everything all sorted out now. Wasn't sure what was going on there, but we're ready to go now. They're going to get on the grid for 94 laps. A little miscommunication as to what was going on there. But without further ado, Todd, I think we're officially ready to get this thing underway. So let's dive straight into tonight's starting lineup.
Starting on the pole here tonight, driving the number 43, that is Bob Dixon. Outside of him is the number 78, that's Christian Torres.
Row number 2 tonight on the inside, we find car number 72. That's the Dinger, Wayne Heidinger. And to his outside aboard the number 9. Welcome back to FEN. That is Chris Elliott.
Next row back, starting inside row number 3, starting in the 5th starting position, the 05 of Ken Smith. I'm going to throw trackside for the command here at Talladega.
Let's get it started. Drivers, start your engines!
Outside of Ken Smith, the number 13 of Harry Codian.
Inside row number 4 aboard car number 38. Little behind the scenes fun here. 38 tonight being piloted by Dave Williams. The 2 is outside aboard car number 4. Been a while since we've seen this name. First time on Full Velocity Network for Robin Hudson aboard number 4.
Inside row number 5, starting that 9th starting position, driving the number 7, that's Nelson Rodriguez. And outside of him, driving the number 56, that's Jeffrey Elliott.
Riverside, Rhode Island brings us to car number 710, rolling off of the 11th position tonight. That, of course, is Manny Diaz, and to his outside. And then number 81, starting 12th, that's Don Bergen.
Walt Colburn. The 070 machine starts 13th. 14th is Larry Coles. And then car number 14.
Papa Gooch going to roll off tonight for the 15th spot. That is Cara Ragucci aboard the 013. And to his outside, that's Don Dolson aboard the 04.
Greg Artlip starts 17th in the number 98. Outside of him, another admin here in the series. So an all admin, 9th row, number 88. That's David Chin.
Row number 10 aboard car number 1 to the inside. We find Hector Medillin there on the inside. And to his outside aboard car number 27. That's Ghost, Josh Judson.
Sean Mosley and ASR Trip bring up the next row, 21st and 22nd.
Rolling off 23rd aboard car number 01 tonight. That's the cow, Charles Coutts in the 01. And to his outside aboard car number 24, that is Connor Metz.
Ed Vaughn, Billy Rose, and John R. Farley round out the rest of the field here at the Talladega Super Speedway here. Getting ready to go green flag racing here momentarily there, Phil.
Yes, they are. Field working its way. Last preparations. Guys are pulling the belts tight down the backstretch toward turn number 3 and 4. Now the pace car going to make its way in. Of course, start-finish line at Talladega. Offset at the end of the tri-oval. More turn number 1. The front row, the Bullet. Bob Dixon on the pole. Outside, we find Christian Torres in that number 78 car. Great-looking paint scheme. Look at that old-school paint job there on the 43 to the inside. Ready to go green flag racing for 94 laps. Green flag's in the air.
Green flag's in the air. These guys are going to take a little bit to get up to full song here at the Talladega Super Speedway. Probably a lap and a half as the 43 of Bob Dixon stays down to the bottom side here early on in the going. He's got help on the bottom side from that number 72 machine. The number 9 also right there. 72 of Wayne Digger. And then the number 9 machine is Chris Elliott. So those guys all working over the bottom side. Looks like they're filtering pretty much to the bottom. Nobody really out of line yet, Phil. I mean, the top line is a little bit working together, but pretty much these guys diving down to the bottom here early on in the going. Now a top line forms with the charge of the number 78 machine.
Yeah, Christian Torres on the outside pole. He's the first car going to pull the outside lane off of turn number 4. Can't quite get the run. Well, here he comes to the high side now He'll make the move alongside the 9 of Chris Elliott. Ken Smith, Old Stanley, right there pushing Torres in the 78. Harry Cody in that number 13. Those 3 cars, Todd, charging up the top side. We're going to race for the lead now as they hit turn 1.
Race for the lead, starting to heat up between the number 78 machine as he's not quite up to the quite up to the side of the number 43 machine, but right off this corner, down the back straightaway, the 43 working on the bottom side. That's Bob Dixon. Outside of him is that number 78 machine. Now finally side by side here, going down into turn number 3. 2 distinct lines, 4 rows deep, 5 rows deep, 2 by 2 by 2.
Yeah, 2 by 2 by 2, all the way back to about 18th position there through that first 2 circuits at Talladega. Inside lane, the pole sitter Bob Dixon on the inside. Christian Torres of the 78 pulling up that high side, the outside lane. They are there, Todd, making that move. Ken Smith, the 05, giving Torres a great push there. Give Bob Dixon the lead at the line, but that lead may change hands once they exit turn 2. Outside lane falls back as customary at the entrance of these quarters, but once they get down this long back straightaway, they may get a really good run, but top lane broke away. That's allowed the top 2 on the inside to pull away. Bob Dixon and also Wayne Digger to the inside. They're going to try to bring Chris Elliott loose of that pack as they hit turn 3.
Yeah, what a bumper shot from the 05 of Ken Smith to the number 78 machine, trying to make some headway up on the top shelf of the speedway here at the Talladega Super Speedway. Not able to make anything happen there going into 3 and out of 4, but they are making up some ground down here into the triangle. They're trying to get up alongside the leaders once again. Not up to Chris Elliott quite yet. They're battling pretty hard with that number 56 Ted Musgrave lookalike here tonight. I love that car, love that scheme. So 56 right now working on the bottom side of the speedway, trying to hold off the charges of the number 78 machine.
Yeah, it's a good race for the 4th spot, but something to keep in mind there as we highlight that 56 is they're going to pull to the outside now. The number 9 car of Chris Elliott, the 56 of Jeffrey Elliott, those are brothers out there. So not only do you got a partner out there, you got your own brother on that inside lane. They're going to pull back now into tow with the 72 of Wayne Dinger, 78 of Torres, trying to make that move up high, but not quite having a dancing partner he needs. Top 4 going to break back away as we're going to put lap 5 on the line next time around here.
Yeah, lap 5 is going to be complete, and Bob Dixon going to lead another lap here in that 43 STP oil treatment sponsored machine. Right there behind him, the number 72 of Wayne Digger. The number 9 of Chris Elliott is running 3rd. 4th is Jeffrey Elliott. And 5th right now is Manny Diaz in that number 710 machine. So he's rounding in the top 5 there. Good run for Manny.
Oh, Manny having an excellent run off the start of this race. He's pulled the 710 up to a top 5. He may peek to the outside lane for turn 3, trying to find where that running advantage may be. He's got Nelson Rodriguez on the number 7 to the low side. They're going to be 3 wide racing for that 5th spot. Manny Diaz going to lose a spot, but the 7 car of Rodriguez, Todd, he's starting to pick his way forward. 3 wide for that 6th position now off of turn 4.
Yeah, no help for Manny. I feel so sorry for him now finally getting back down in the line. He was caught up in that what we call the sucker hole. The 710, he lost a couple of positions, able to get back down to the bottom, right behind the number 88 of David Chin. Dave Chin starting to make some headway. Remember, he started in that 17th, 18th position, right in that area, and now already up to 7th in that number 88 machine. But here comes Manny down to the bottom side by side here down the back straightaway. Great battle here going on for that 7th spot. Looks like Manny going to move himself right back into there.
No, he certainly is. And also a good run out of the gate here. The 04 of Don Dolson's kind of snuck into the fray as well. He's, he followed his good buddy Nelson Rodriguez in the 7 up through the pack. So Don Dolson's moved his way up into that top 7. Manny Diaz looks like going to drop back to 8th. And old Robin Hudson, the old Kodak number 4 paint scheme out there, he looks like he's got the 4 card nestled in a nice spot. What has happened to the 78 of Christian Torres, Todd? Outside lane with no help at all. We saw them fighting for the lead. He's dropped now all the way back outside the top 10, currently running 12th. And, we still got dancing partner Ken Smith there, but those guys really got little help. Also, Harry Cody Insford to the outside. With 3 guys by themselves, that there's nothing they can do to handle everybody glued to the inside part of the racetrack.
Yeah, these guys just logging laps here early on in the going. 7 laps of 94 complete down the back straightaway. Now the 78 goes back up out of line. He was down on the bottom, and that was an evasive maneuver. I almost thought he was going to make some tappity tap down there with the number 013 machine. Not going to do so as he gets out of line. He goes to the outside. Hopefully he can get some help this time by the number 17 machine or 78 machine.
7-8 alongside the 013 of Caro Ragucci, old Papa Gooch out there. Unfortunately, we don't see the old 013 out there. I see a red car. I believe Joe may also as well. So, unfortunately, Joe's got an epic car, so he's got something a whole lot better than I see on my screen out here. But Papa Gooch, the 013, going to make a move on the inside. Everybody glued to the low side of the speedway. Start seeing these guys about third or fourth on back, start peeking to the outside, Todd, but everybody committed to log laps. It's a long race here, 250 miles, 94 laps around Talladega. Top three going to pull to the outside. Jeffrey Elliott, he may stick to the low side. We'll see if he makes a run on his brother Chris off of turn 4. Nope, not going to do so. They'll stick back to single file racing here. All clean and green. We'll put lap 9 on the board this time around.
Now Manny Diaz jumps out of line in front of the number 78 of Christian Torres. Torres right now working the top side of the speedway once again. This time trying to formulate some help there. 38 of Dave Williams right there behind him. These guys trying to work over the top side, but there's not a lot of help up there. Nobody really wants to go up there this early on in the going. They don't want to make it too abreast. They don't want to make it too wide here. They don't want to wreck their cars this early in the event. Like we said, we're on lap 9 of 94.
And now you're seeing Manny Diaz of 710 slide to the outside. He makes the run on David Shin. He'll make the run on Don Dolson up there. I believe he's alongside the 7 of Nelson Rodriguez. So Manny Diaz trying to make something happen. Christian Torres, our outside Polson of the 78. He has been glued to that outside lane. He's trying to do all he can to push Manny Diaz up there, but they just can't quite keep that steam motoring on the inside lane. Way too many cars in there. That's going to bring out the 04 of Dolson back outside. Now contact between the 04 and the 710. Manny going to slide up the racetrack. He'll surrender position out of Robin Hudson. That's good racing for about that 10th spot now off of turn 2.
Yeah, fantastic racing going on for that 10th spot here. These guys really slicing and dicing it back here towards the middle of the field. Nobody really making a challenge up front, single file in line. So these guys battling it out here mid-pack, trying to make some headway. They're trying to get up to the front. It looks like this top line's got to form, Phil, at some time. They're going to want to go lead some laps, but right now they're just sitting there and waiting and making sure that they make it to this end of this race.
Well, and I'll bring Joe into that same equation, as Joe's a guy who's excelled at a place like Talladega through the years. What do you think, Joe? Talladega, we normally know, is a racetrack where a lot of guys will migrate to the outside part of the racetrack. Do you think that's a product of this TR version of the track making the inside happen, or is it a product of the long distance, 94 laps around? I mean, what do you think's attributing to these guys all hugging and staying, committed to the low side of the racetrack here through the first 10 laps?
Well, usually the TR tracks traditionally are actually built to have multiple grooves in them to allow for side-by-side racing, whether it be the Talladega TR versions of the tracks or the Daytona TRs or some of the other maybe custom super speedways that are out there. So, I think it comes down to the same thing that is universal throughout all super speedway racing is who you can work with and who's willing to work with you. And you really got to have the right pairing to make an outside line work. Even though they try to build these tracks to be as even as they can between two lines, it's still going to take a little bit more effort to make the top side work, and you need to have the right combination of people up there to make that line work, and you have to be a little bit aggressive getting down on the guy next to you. So it's really trusting the people that are around you to get down on the guys on the inside to help give yourself a little bit of momentum to propel yourself up there. So right now the problem is the majority of the guys that are running the top, we're seeing clusters of 5 or 6 cars that are in that top middle groove, where the majority of the cars are still down on the bottom. So I think it's more guys are being patient right now. They know it's a long race. It's a 94 lap race here at Talladega, 50% distance of what a real race here would technically and usually be. So some of these guys are probably just biding their time, being patient. They don't want to push the issue right now, but I fully anticipate to see towards the end of this race, we'll see more guys start to move up to that top line, maybe force the issue 3 wide into the middle here at some point as well, and we'll probably see 3 distinct grooves at some point during this race before this thing's over with.
Well, I certainly hope so. It makes for great racing. Anytime you get to Talladega and you see a lot of 3 wide racing, seeing a whole lot of 2 wide right now, Todd, the outside lane trying to make the move happen. It looks like the outside lane with a little bit of push there. Manny Diaz, second car in line. Looks like they have a run with David Shin leading that outside lane. He's to the outside of Jeffrey Elliott. They make it alongside Chris Elliott for third. Good battle for that 4th spot. Here they come. They got momentum off of turn 4.
Yeah, David Chin on the outside of the speedway, the number 88 machine, the 710 of Diaz right there working with them. They're trying to make something work here up top. trying to get up alongside of Chris Elliott in the number 9. Right now they're in, right side by side with Jeffrey Elliott in the number 56 machine. But again, at the entrance of the corner is where they lose time. At the exit, they make up time because they got the momentum. Here they come down the back straightaway. The number 88 of David Chinton leading the charge on the top side. And look at that bump draft. Fantastic bump draft by the 710 and the 78 combination draft. They're coming down into turn number 3. Now they're up alongside of Jeffrey Elliott once again.
Yeah, and, you know, we've seen tandem drafting become a thing here over the years. I've never seen like a 3-wide tandem draft, but those guys were all leaning on each other, and they got a tremendous run off of turn 2, and now once again off of turn 4. The 88 of David Chin, the inside of Jeffrey Elliott, the 56. They are double file for that 4 spot, 2 by 2 by 2 from that 4 spot all the way back now, Todd, looking like to about that 18th, even back further on. All these guys kept toe of the pack, mainly all side-by-side racing for 4th on back, but still all chasing our race leader, Bullet Bob Dixon. Him and Wayne Dinger, those guys have been committed to the inside lane, and nobody's really challenged them now with 15 laps up on the board. You got to think now with the pit window here at Talladega, we usually see somewhere between 18 to 20 laps. So these guys may be about 3 laps away or so from heading on the pit road for the first time tonight, and it looks like it's going to be under green flag conditions.
Yeah, it looks like it is going to be under green flag conditions coming down here through the trial. Well, David Chin's run has kind of stalled. The number 7 machine is wicked fast on the bottom there. He's catching the draft there coming out of the corner. So 7 machine trying to make some headway on the bottom. That's Rodriguez in the number 7 machine. So we'll see what happens if he's able to pull up with those guys. But right now, these guys pretty much still stay in single file up on the top side of the speedway, single file on the bottom. Nobody really making any headway. David Chin was making headway there early on in the going, not able to do so. Now these guys all dropping down to the bottom. I almost guarantee you this is for pit stops, Phil.
Well, maybe not this time around, but yeah, you got to think these guys, you know, may just be positioning themselves there, trying to get themselves back in line. You may see the entire field get glued to the inside lane here as, you know, green flag pit stops at Talladega. Yeah, it looks easy, but it is really not, and you really need to have a game plan getting on the pit road. It's a place you definitely can pit side by side, but a whole lot easier at these speeds with the CTS physics we got out here tonight when you're single file. So definitely seeing everybody, Todd. Doesn't look like there's any takers to the outside of the racetrack. The entire field all gluing themselves to the inside, all preparing for what appears to be a green flag pit stop. And just as we say that, the 04 of Don Bergen going to break up the inside train. He's got a good push from a 27 of Josh Judson. Those guys making headway happen for about, call out the 8th spot now as they hit turn 3.
Yeah, right around the 8th spot as they hit turn number 3 out of turn number 4. Any takers on pit road this time by? I don't see anybody coming down pit road, but I'm sure here a lap or 2, these guys are going to start coming down pit road to get to the aid of their pit crews to get some fuel. They're going to have to indeed get some fuel at least here on these cars. So just waiting to see how this is going to play out. It's pretty much single file still down on the bottom besides the 01 of Don Bergen, or 81, excuse me, of Don Bergen on the top side trying to make something happen.
Yeah, first of our, you know, competitors has come on to pit road, the number 416. That's ASR Trip Autry Waits. He is on pit road. But looking like, I'm going to guess next time around, you're going to see the majority of the leaders in. I think Bob Dixon, I think Wayne Dinger. Those are 2 candidates I think you more than likely see the pit road. I think you'll see the Elliott's, the 9, and the 56. I think this entire field, Todd, off of turn number 4, I think you're going to see them all jump on the binders and head to pit road. And look at that. As I say that, well, not all of them, but a good portion of that lead pack all onto pit road.
Yeah, following Jeffrey Elliott down to pit road to number 56, the Family Channel sponsor machine, old Ted Musgrave throwback, as he's coming down here with the number 56 machine. Jeffrey Elliott, going to wait and see what he's going to do here. I almost think 2 tires, two cans of Sunoco Racing Field, and he'll be down the way. That's what I'm going to think he's going to do. We're going to see as he pulls up to his pit stop, right side tires going on the number 56 machine. Now getting ready to go around. Let's see if they're going to go around and take 4 tires here for the 56. Does not look like they're going to do so. So right side tires, only the call here for the 56 of Jeffrey Elliott.
Right side tires for the 710 of Manny Diaz. The call was for 4 tires, probably for the 710, Todd. He got too close to the inside wall, butchered that pit road entrance, too close to the wall, couldn't get left sides in the air. Mistake there for the 710 crew, but at a place like Talladega, 4 tires ain't really going to be too critical here early on in the going. 2 right side tires for Manny Diaz, and he's down and away and rejoin the field.
Yeah, tough break for Wayne Digger in that number 72 machine. He was facing the wrong way on a one-way street here on pit road, and Wayne Digger going to lose many positions there as he did come in second here. And that number 72, I almost guarantee you he'll be coming out quite a ways behind this lead pack. Is a tough break for Wayne Digger.
Well, Wayne Dinger had a tag team partner out in the front of the field. That was the pole sitter, the race leader, the 43 of Bob Dixon. He's come in for 2 right side tires on that STP machine. 43's down and away. Looks like just as it was, he'll win the race off of pit road. There also looks like we had some more takers there. I believe David Chin, the 88, he was also one of those guys on through pit road. So another gaggle of cars has all come in. We're awaiting a couple more, but trouble once again, Todd, with Wayne Digger, the 72. He's around again.
Yeah, lightning strikes twice tonight here for Wayne Digger as he comes off a pit road. He spins it out again, gets too hot coming off pit road, and it gets way loose on the 72 machine, and around he goes, losing more and more precious time to the field.
Yeah, it looks like I may have kind of, taken the driver's seat of the 72. Kind of looked like me, spinning the wrong way, getting on the pit road, spinning, getting off pit road. Kind of feel like I'm out there in that number 72 there, Todd, as we get through, looks like this round of green flag pit stops just about to wrap up. The last of it looks like the 05 of Ken Smith has come to pit road, the 13 of Harry Cody in. So those guys have all come down for service. They've all down the way rejoined the race. And now the race, it looks like, for the lead is in turns number 1 and 2. Looks like when this thing all sets out and done, looks like Bob Dixon and Chris Elliott had the 2 best pit stops of all. They've got about 15 to 20 car lengths on brother Jeffrey Elliott, Manny Diaz. Those top 2 are broken away, but the question is, can these guys all run the top 2 down? They all get in lane. I think they will, but tremendous pit stop for those top 2 drivers.
Yeah, indeed, a tremendous pit stop for those guys. They got in, they got off of pit road rather quickly, and it's smooth. And that's what you got to do here at Super Speedway. That's what you got to do at any racetrack, is you got to go down on pit road, get it into your pit stall and off your pit stall really flawlessly, and that's what these guys have done here with the number 9 and the 43 are trying to stay away from the field, but the 56 of Elliott now has caught the number 9 in the 43 machine. They're side by side coming down the back straightaway.
Here they come down the back straightaway with a great run there. Jeffrey Elliott to the outside. Got help from Manny Diaz. And how about Ghost, the 27 of Josh Judson? Top 3 going to make the move off the outside. New race leader to turn number 3 and 4. Jeffrey Elliott in that beautiful looking Family Channel throwback Ted Musgrave looking car. Jeffrey Elliott got the lead now off of turn 4.
Jeffrey Elliott down here into the trial. He's got help, and it looks like in form of the number Josh Judson up on the top side of the speedway here. Able to muscle the lead away from the number 56 of Jeffrey Elliott here momentarily on the top side of the speedway, coming off of turn number 2 down the back straightaway. Still Josh Judson with the lead.
Yeah, and he goes by the screen name Ghost most of the time, and kind of like a ghost, he is flashed out to the race lead. Nelson Rodriguez, the number 7. Old Postal pushing out there to that 2nd spot in the run for the 3rd position. Old Don Bergen, the 81, he's put the muscle to the 81, now put him up to position number 3. So these guys, after green flag pit stops, we figured they'd reshuffle a little bit, but it's a 10-car breakaway at the front of the field, and these guys all out there not content to ride in line. These guys are out there getting after it and racing, Todd, as we got 24 laps going up on the board as they hit the start-finish line.
Yeah, 24 laps, and these guys starting to get slicing and dicing their way through the front here, and you're starting to see some racing, some good guys up on the top side actually working together here and able to make the bottom group look a little bit different, and looks like they're stalling out here this time, so they've switched from the bottom to the top now.
And we'll bring Joe Allen into that conversation once again, Joe. Just so we talked about on lap 10 or 11, everybody was good to the inside lane. But as you said, the TR track is conducive for multiple lanes of racetrack and good racing service. And now all of a sudden, 24 laps in, past the first round of green flag stops, fast cars all to the top side of the racetrack. What do you think?
Yeah, it goes back to, you know, the key to these super speedways is really being able to navigate which line is the fast line at that, you know, point in time. And the green flag pit stops we just saw there really helped in, you know, separating and distancing the field from each other. And we have a couple distinct grooves and packs. We have, I believe, a 7 or 8 pack that's about 4 or 5 seconds behind, and then we have this lead pack that's consistent of, it looks like, 10 or 11 guys, I would say. And when you have the majority in one pack moving to one line, you know, it's going to offset the momentum that another line is able to carry. And, you know, as we see that, we went from a line of having 6 cars on the top side to now we got a 4-car breakaway on the top and 5 or 6 cars now that are going to build up their momentum on the bottom side and try to give this top line, you know, a run for the money. But as I say that, Manny Diaz in the 710 is going to move himself up to the top side and try and use that momentum to put himself up even further. So it's really who is in what line. You're going to have to, no matter what you know, track combination you're at, you're going to have to be able to you know, whichever line has more cars than the other is going to be the one that's more successful. And we've seen that with the top line, but as they navigate through this lap car, that's going to jumble things up just a little bit and could give that bottom line a chance here to actually get some momentum going on these 2 leaders here and see if they can get something to get somebody else up into the race lead.
Yeah, absolutely. And that lap car was unfortunately the number 88 of old DC, David Chin. Had a, you know, awful pit stop in the 88. I believe he may have had to come back to serve a penalty there, Todd, and that's going to put old DC 1 lap down in the rear, currently in that 25th position. But look at these guys through this lead pack, a 10-car breakaway. These guys not content to get in line and try to make till the next round of green flag pit stops. And I think, Todd, we've done enough restrictor plate racing over the years to know, you know, if you get a long green flag run like this, you expect the pack to whittle down one by one by one the more and more you make pit stops. What do you think of these guys out there racing at this point of the race? Do you think that's a smart play? Do you think there's nothing to lose? Or are you one of those guys, knowing that you're going to make more, hopefully, green flag pit stops, you content to just kind of ride around in line and try to not be one of those guys that get eliminated off of those drafts?
I've never been one, Phil, to actually I don't like to ride around in line at Talladega. I'm going to try something and try things for later in the race. I'm always trying to think ahead and see what kind of moves are actually going to work here at the track. Different kind of setup, different kind of mod here, and you just don't know what kind of moves are going to work. Sometimes you can think that they're going to work, and they're actually not going to work here later in the event. So I'm going to try every move I can. Try to get myself to the front. If I don't have a drafting partner, I'm going to try to find a drafting partner or try to make some allies here going to the front just to see who works better with me and then drop back. So kind of like a gameplay, a chess match per se. You're going up there just figuring out what you can do, not showing all your cards, but figuring out what you can do with all these guys.
And, you know, as these guys jockey for position, the outside lane is led by was Josh Judson up there, but looks like that's kind of jumbled up a little bit. Looking at the inside lane, I've been kind of at the back of this pack, kind of watching these guys start to make their moves. Seeing number 38 now with Dave Williams start to lead to the inside line. He's alongside the number 81 of Don Bergen. Those guys are side by side for that third spot. Up the outside lane, you see the 070 of Walt Coburn. We have not talked a whole lot about Walt. He has a nice run going up inside the top 5, but looks like strength and numbers to the outside part of the racetrack. We know the low side is fast, but, you know, as we say, strength and numbers of the outside lane. And look at the 070, the old Krispy Kreme machine, Walt Coburn. He's going to clear the inside lane of Dave Williams. Got a 4-car breakaway to the outside.
Indeed, a 4-car breakaway to the outside is the 38 down on the bottom side, trying to make something happen. Not able to do so, as it looks like the outside line just working together a little bit better than per se the bottom line as of right now. That could change in an instant here at Talladega, just like a blink of an eye. You could actually be in a big wreck too, and that could make it change also. But these guys pretty much strung out, and they're doing a fantastic job. Still clean and green. 30 laps into this race, 30 laps of 94.
Yeah, these guys doing one whale of a job here. So far, caution-free through the first 30 laps, and we've seen a 10-car breakaway at the front of the field through the first round of green flag pit stops. A 10-car pack is 4 behind them, about 4.5 seconds behind. That's led by bullets like the old Ken Smith, number 05, the 13 of Harry Codian is back there. Robin Hudson, Hector Medillin is back there as well. So some fast race cars all in that second pack. But the story of this race, the 10 cars up front that have broke away, they now make a lap around the 42 of Sean Mosley, who's unfortunately now going to fall one lap to the rears as he was running all by his lonesome out there. But those guys now all content inside the top 10. Top 2 now are broken away. The inside lane looks like has gained a couple of more numbers. Dave Williams trying to make another run at it, see if he can't make a run to the lead now off of turn 2.
Yeah, Dave Williams down on the bottom side in that Goodwren sponsored machine, trying to make some headway down on the bottom, not able to do so again down the back straightaway. But again, that's where the top line prevails here. So on the entrance of the corner, you're going to watch him dive down to the bottom in that number 38 machine. He's able to get up alongside the number 81. Now he's able to get up alongside the number 7 machine of Nelson Rodriguez, and there's the run from the top side. So the 38 picking his way through to the front slowly, but not able to get around the number 7 as of right now. Here he comes through the triangle there, side by side down the front straightaway.
Side by side down the front stretch and out through a triangle now for the race lead. Here comes Dave Williams to the inside of Josh Judson. Good push there from a 7-10 on Manny Diaz. Manny having a tremendous run here. Great push to the second spot. Got Jeffrey Elliott down to the inside as well. They get that good burst now off of turn 2, but this, as we've seen a million times, the outside lane having an extra racetrack, the extra outside momentum. You see the Josh Judson machine start to pull back up to the outside, but as they hit turn 3, top 2 are broken away to the inside, maybe 3, and also maybe make that a 4-car pass to the inside. Oh, Bob Dixon, the 43, he was our pole sitter. He led through the first round of our green flag pit stops. He's still in that race, Todd, 4th car to the inside. Those guys trying to peek forward there as we put lap number 33 up on the board.
Yeah, Bob Dixon trying to work his way back up through the field without his drafting partner that he had early in the event. His drafting partner right now is sitting in 21st after all his spinning out coming on the pit road, his spinning out coming off. He's in 21st position, so he does not have the help of his drafting partner this time, but able to use the draft behind some of these other guys that have been helping him, like the former the number 9 machine of Chris Elliott or Jeffrey Elliott, who's actually right there in front of him. Those guys been working together pretty good here, and they're doing so here once again on the bottom side. But Manny Diaz having a good run here. He's now running in the second spot there, Phil. So great run for Manny. Got to give a shout out to him.
Yeah, absolutely. And I go back years and years on Manny. Manny used to race those super late models up here in the Northeast, the Thompson Speedway years ago, the pride of Riverside, Rhode Island. And it was really cool to see, him be a part of this community and having a good run up there in that second spot. But unfortunately, Todd, we can report from pit road as these guys starting to, get back to the inside lane, probably about 2 or 3 laps away from these guys all coming back to pit road. But can also report the number 416 of Autry Waite. So ASR trip looks like something happening there. The 416 behind the wall. He'll join the number 6 of Billy Rose. Those 2 drivers first 2 out of the event. 24 cars left on the racetrack. 22 left in the lead lap. And most importantly, 10 inside that lead pack. Can it stay 10 drivers deep here through the next round of green flag pit stops? We're going to find out. But before we get to the green flag stops, let's take a minute to remind you guys the home of the Full Velocity Network, fullvelocitynetwork.com. Check out our website if you've never been there. Great looking website. Thanks to David Day for all the great work he's put to that site. Looks awesome, works great. If you'd like to book your date now, we're custom fit to fit all leagues' needs. We're NR 2003. We'll do iRacing. We've had some tremendous success in that world here recently. We're accustomed to anything you would want to do, anything you want to showcase. Said nothing too big or too small. Check out our broadcast rates now. I think all you guys out there will be pleased. Full Velocity Network is the fullvelocitynetwork.com, the home of FVN. As we're here tonight at the Talladega Super Speedway, hanging out with our friends from the AS Racing Clan, ASRNR2K3.net. A great league that runs 7 nights a week, open setup racing, fixed setup, new mods, old mods. I mean, they do the gamut here. Great guys, David Shin, David Day, Gary Mingus, David Shin, trying to get the name out there, Don Dolson also. A lot of great admins over here. Greg Artliff, these guys do a tremendous job in this group. Check these guys out at ASR, great bunch of guys. And Todd, 36 laps up on the board. I think pit road will be open. Oh, maybe this time around. If not, I think you'll see a lot of the leaders one more time around. But I think this time I think we'll start to see some comers onto the pit lane.
Yeah, one or two more times by, you'll start seeing these guys come down on pit road. Phil, I'd like to also add to visit our Facebook Facebook page, like what you see, because we're going to start doing some simulcast on YouTube and Facebook Live. So like what you see there on Facebook too. So make sure you stop over Full Velocity Network Facebook page, like the Facebook page, so that way you can see those videos also on Facebook Live as the part of our simulcast stuff that is coming up here soon.
Yeah, the evolution, the new revolution of online sim race broadcasts right here live on the Full Velocity Network. Now working lap number 37, cars in the back straightaway. Nobody amongst this lead pack has come out the pit road as of yet, but I'm starting to see guys start to whittle down to the inside of the racetrack. Got to be thinking about a lap or two. I'm thinking this time around there's got to be some of these guys that have come in that came in about lap 18. So 18, 36, 37, the 710 of Manny Diaz, the 56 of Jeffrey Elliott. Those guys going to dive on the pit road out of that top 10 there, Todd.
Yeah, those guys dived down the pit road. I'm with Manny right now. Right in front of him is Jeffrey Elliott in the 56 machine. The number 710 coming down on the pit road. Long way down pit road, and it's really slow compared to what you're doing out there on the racetrack. 52 miles an hour, man, he's doing down on pit road. Pulls into his pit stall. Left side tires going on the number 710 machine. You're getting Sunoco Racing Fuel aboard the number 710. Looking to see what's going to happen if they're going to take 4 tires. No, 2 tires to call. 2 left side tires for Manny Diaz, and they're going to be down and away now.
I have 2 left side tires on the number 7 of Nelson Rodriguez. They get that work done. He's full of Sunoco Racing Fuel. 7-car old ASR Postal going to rejoin the race now off of turn number 4. We look toward pit road. Do we have any more takers there, Todd?
Looking to see if there is any more takers. Yep, there's a whole gaggle of cars down here on pit road. The number 9 of Chris Elliott got the 070 Walt Coburn, and you got Christian Torres down here on pit road in the number 78 machine. He's coming down in that How Do You Do Oreo Ritz sponsored machine here. And here we go with the 78's down here pulling into his pit stall. Right side tires, right side service going to the number 78 Torres machine. Seeing what else is going to happen. Is he going to take 4 tires? No, it looks like he's going to take 2 tires. No, 4 tires is the call for Christian Torres in that number 78 machine. He's going to be down and away.
Right side tires for the number 9 of Chris Elliott. A 4-tire pit stop for the number 38 of Dave Williams. He's down the way with 1 car around exiting pit road, just as we saw the Dinger do here a little while ago. Saw a red and white car go around. Not sure if that was a Chris Elliott machine or not, Todd, but it was indeed the 9 car. So the unfortunate twist there, Chris Elliott had a really good pit stop, but as we've seen 100 times here at Talladega, getting on and off pit road can be a hazard in its own right. It got Chris Elliott this time. That's going to take him out of a good top 10 run here through the first half of this race.
Yeah, tough break for Chris Elliott. They're now getting back up through the gears and down on the back straightaway, so tough break for the number 9, Chris Elliott. He's down the back straightaway, so we'll have to wait and see what's going to happen to him, and he's going to have to make his way back up through.
I'm down here on pit road, guys. Got the 05 of Ken Smith, the 13 of Harry Codian. Those 2 guys were the last of the round of the first stop. Well, they'll stay out and take that extra gamble on fuel on now lap number 39. It was a right side tire change for Harry. It was right side tires for Ken Smith. Those guys will be joining the race, so let's see if these guys will all sprinkle out. They were in that second pack. That was about 5 seconds back, Todd. We'll see if they've gained or lost any time there through this cycle of green flag pit stops now on lap 40.
Yeah, as the lead pack lost another driver, like we said there, the number 9 of Chris Elliott, so we lost him to that lead pack. So I almost wonder if he's going to join that second pack, or if spinning out like that is going to make him fall even further back like Wayne Digger did there in that 21st position. So we'll have to wait and see how that's all going to play out, and who's going to be there. You got some comers and you got some goers here in these packs.
No, you certainly do. We'll have to see how they all kind of sprinkle out here as all racing down now the front stretch through a tribe. We'll have to see where the intervals all lay out. Looks like it's going to be Jeffrey Elliott going to lead that gaggle of cars now through this round of green flag pit stops. But now that 10-car pack, Todd, is whittled down to 4 cars. Elliott, Manny Diaz, Christian Torres, Nelson Rodriguez. Those 4 cars are broken away from another pack of drivers. That's, I'd call it about 6 or 7 cars deep, where you find the likes of Walt Coburn, Don Bergen's back there, Hector Medillin, Dave Williams, Harry Codianis, stayed about that same interval on back. So we've said you guys all stay together here through these top 10. Well, they've whittled down a little more. It's a 4-car breakaway at the front, and we're quickly approaching the halfway point.
And quickly approaching the halfway point here as we got lap 41, almost 42 coming up here on the board. Yellow flag's going to fly here. Yellow flag number 1 here. We're going to restack. We're going to repack this whole field. We're going to have a different kind of racing now, Phil.
Well, that's definitely going to change the complexion of the race indeed, as we've got through 2 rounds of green flag pit stops, caution free, and now the first caution flag of the night on lap number 42. So we talked about the 4-car breakaway at the front, and we'll put a monkey wrench into all of that. And so as Todd said, we'll let these guys all get restacked. And looks like there may have something happen to the 38 of Dave Williams. Saw him kind of was up in that, that middle second pack, but now he's drifted back there, Joe, and I believe he may have something to tell here that put us under the caution flag.
Yeah, a little, looks like a little bit of miscommunication here, guys. We're going to focus on that 13 of Harry Codian. He's been doing a great job at getting himself caught back up. We saw before he was in that second pack about 4 or 5 seconds off the race lead, and he was able to get up with this now broken second pack here. Actually gained a little bit of time on pit road there under our latest round of green flag stops, but we're also going to look at the 38 machine of Dave Williams as well. It looks like Harry Codian coming down the hill, maybe he had to go down pit road, serve a penalty under green or something. I'm not entirely sure, but as he goes down there, I think the 38 of Dave Williams meant to follow him down there and didn't really realize until it was too late what exactly was going on. And those weird and funky hitboxes that these Aero 88 cars have on them, it looks like they just make some contact there as Harry Codian starts heading down, as he's trying to get himself down towards pit road, and that little bit of contact, that little bit of warp and server lag there is what caused that accident here. Tough break for these guys, almost halfway here, completely green in this 94 lap event here at Talladega. That's just a little bit of miscommunication, a little bit of guys getting a little bit sloppy there under this long green flag run. You lose your focus just a little bit and something like that happens. Luckily that doesn't involve anybody more than those 2 guys, and it doesn't look like they hit anything too hard there, so they'll be able to come down pit road, put some new tires on it, put some gas in the cars, and get them back out there with little to no damage and still be competitive towards the end of this thing. Back up to you guys in the booth.
Yeah, I don't see any contact all over just each other there that brought the caution flag out. So those 2 cars will get all reset, pour 4 fresh tires on, and I'm sure those 2 cars will be as good as new with no damage at all. So under the first caution flag of the night there, Todd, I mean, that's going to just change the complexion of this race altogether. But something we can observe now is, as far as what these guys have gone on the pit window now, we're seeing the very back part of the guys like Ken Smith, like Harry Codian. Those guys stretched the fuel almost a good full 20 laps. So that's something to keep an eye on here, is if we get another quick caution flag, it may open up the prospect of these guys making this race on, dare I say, one more stop here if we get another quick yellow.
Yeah, indeed, it's going to open up that avenue there, Phil, and you're going to be able to maybe make it up on a couple more stops. You're going to have to wait and see what's going to happen with these guys. A lot of different strategy calls probably going to be made here tonight, trying to get themselves a win here on the Full Velocity Network. Who doesn't want to win on Full Velocity Network, Phil? We don't have a win on Full Velocity Network. Will we probably ever? Probably not. We'll probably be too busy in this booth.
Well, there is certainly nothing wrong with being in the broadcast booth, and we absolutely love doing that. Of course, the racer in us, wants to be out there on the racetrack, or, even wants to maybe even try our hand at the controls one day. Todd's done that a little bit recently, but, one guy who I'm surprised to not see on the racetrack tonight, but he's been, gracious enough to come into the waiting room and want to join the conversation. So why not showcase one of the guys who calls ASR a home league? That's our old buddy, Mr. Gary Mingus. Gary, it's Phil Lacasse on Full Velocity, buddy. How you doing? Good to talk to you once again.
Hi, Phil, Todd, Joe. Good to see you guys back in the networking business.
Oh, we're thrilled to be a part of it there, Gary. Having a great time here with all you guys at ASR tonight for, really good crowd of guys. We've been here a couple of times over the years with our former affiliate DRTV. But, for anybody who may be new to ASR for the first time, tell everybody out there all the great racing you guys do. I mean, you guys have a great flavor of old mods, new mods, open setup racing, fixed setup racing. I mean, tell everybody out there what you guys are up to and how they can get involved.
Well, I think the most recent change that we made was doing open setups 4 nights a week. We run open setups with the Gen 6 BR15, the Gen 6 BR older mod, and then Friday nights we're running DMR NXS 15 series, 16 series, I'm sorry, for the Xfinity bunch. And then Saturday night we run the old NCTS 09 in open sets, and it's always been a great mod for us. And it's a lot of fun for anybody who wants to work. We have people there to help with open setups. Plus, we've got the pick setups for those who are fairly new to it, that we run a little chase format with them. And about to start into a new season here before too long. And there's going to be some changes made for the better, but it's an exciting bunch. We got a lot of good drivers. We're constantly putting 10 to 15 in the field on our slow nights, so it's a good deal.
Oh, it sounds like a great deal. Those are car counts, especially through the summer months, that any league, I think, would clamor to have. And good to see you guys still getting at it. A group that's been around for a long time, a whole bunch of veteran racers. Got a really good, strong field here at Talladega tonight, Gary. I'm kind of sad to see you not out there on the racetrack, as a guy over the years has really fared well at Talladega. I mean, what brings you to the booth tonight and not got that, old bunny bread number 12 out on the racetrack?
Well, I was set to put the University of Alabama Roll Tide Chevrolet number 12 out there on the field tonight, but I had some technical difficulties just before, and I couldn't, once I got them fixed, I couldn't make qualifying, so I had to sit out.
Well, we're sorry you're sitting out on the sidelines. We know life kind of happens and comes first. But as always, Gary, really, really cool to have you come up to the booth here once again. I know we've done some races with you here as a broadcast partner over the years, and always good to come catch up on an old friend, see what you guys are all up to. We're approaching the halfway mark, and knowing you're a guy who races here night in and night out, maybe privy to the guys who come in and call this league home night after night, knowing who may be the outsiders here just coming to invade on a TV broadcast this evening, who do you think we got as the hands-on favorites who may capture a checkered flag in about another 48 laps from now?
There's a number of about 5 or 6 that I would count on, and I have to put kudos to Ken Smith Stanley in the 05 car for putting this setup together. It's had a lot of good compliments about it, and he knows how to drive it. David Chin unfortunately had some mishaps that put him a couple laps down, but I really think that Bob Dixon is probably going to be your late competitor if he can get his pit stops down pat, and it's going to be one of those things where whoever has the most cars in a line, whether the high line is going to work the best or the low line. So it's a toss-up at this point. Yeah, we're going to have to wait till the last 10 laps, and then I'll be ready to pick somebody.
All right, buddy. Well, as always, good to talk to you. Welcome to the Full Velocity Network for the first time, my friend. And shoot, let's do this again here real soon. Good to catch up with you again, buddy. And enjoy the evening and enjoy the rest of the show. Hope we're doing a good job for you. And hope these guys, I know these guys are putting on one heck of a race for you. So enjoy the rest of the night, my friend. Grab a cold one and kick back and relax and have a good time.
I'll do it, buddy. And you guys do a fantastic job. I'm glad you picked up with what Rich and you guys started out with, and how you full velocity is just Joe. And
unfortunately, sound like we may have lost transmission with Gary there, but Todd, I believe we're back to green flag racing. So let's throw this thing back up to the booth and call the action out there. Back under green.
Yeah, back on the green flag racing is Walt Colburn in the 070 machine, the 56 machine of. And I guess we got another wreck here. Cautions breed cautions, and that's true here so far. Second yellow flag here tonight. Big wreck.
A huge wreck off of turn number 2. Didn't quite see where that started from. Looks like that may have started up near the front of the pack and just may have been a result as guys kind of getting all sorts of checked up and out of shape, and that tore up some different race cars there. I think I saw Kyle Petty and Sterling Marlin, maybe Richard Petty and Bill. Wait a minute, that's not the real drivers. We're here at ASR tonight. Joe Allen, you're running with another Full Velocity Rewind, the second one of the evening. Take it away. Show us what happened.
Thank you, guys. We're going to focus on the 88. That is our buddy David Chin, and the 7, Nelson Rodriguez, right behind him coming down. Or I'm sorry, I believe it's the 72, actually, that's down there. Looks like David Chin in the 88 there, guys, just gets some help off the back bumper there and sends him for a wild ride down on the apron here. See if we can look at this one more time. He gets down on the apron, thinks maybe he has it saved until he hits the deadly grass down there. And anybody that's been at Talladega knows that once you hit the grass, you're along for the ride at that point. Fortunately, he comes right back up the hill, right in front of traffic, and they do the unique, the old school single file restarts, lap down cars on the bottom there. So the 88 of David Chin there, guys, spins right back up into the middle of traffic there, right in front of the leaders, makes contact with the 4 of the 78. So there's the 013. He comes flying through there, big contact with him. The 01 is wrecking through there. The 43, he's been, Bob Dixon, he's been a guy that's been in competition all night. There's the 01 rolling over on his lid. Charles Couts, our buddy from, you know, all over the place. We've all known to love Charles. Tough break for him. We haven't seen him near the front too much at all tonight. He might be, but Charles is one of those guys at Super Speedways that he just kind of takes his time, hangs out in the back, and unfortunately nowhere he could go there. He's right in the middle of that big accident. So cars wrecking all over the racetrack, unfortunately. This is going to tear up a lot of guys that were running up towards the front of this field. Harry Codian in the 13 is involved in this one as well. The 013, that is Carl Ragucci. He's been running up towards the front of the field. He came in there like a bat out of hell, unfortunately, right in the middle of that one, and took out some good cars there involved in the middle of that accident as well. So a lot of cars that we've seen up front were involved in that one, guys. This is really going to shake up the picture of the guys that are going to be leading up towards the front of this pack when we get this thing back under green. Back up to you guys in the booth.
Yeah, we also have a whole lot of race cars now with some damage as well, and anytime you ding up the car at Talladega, it can always slow the progress of anything you're doing down. So tough break for all those drivers involved, but we have eclipsed the halfway mark, 48 laps of 94 on the board, now slowed by the second caution flag of the evening. And you know, can't wait to go back to green flag racing, because you know these caution laps, they feel about as slow as a Buffalo Bills type offense there, Todd. I can't wait to get back under the green flag and see these guys mix it up here through the last half of this race.
Yeah, watching some of the stuff going on out here on the track, waiting to get in-car communication with one of the drivers out here, Phil, and hopefully we will be able to get some in-race communication. I believe we're trying to search up the frequency for the number 9 of Elliott. We're waiting to see what's going to happen. Phil, do you have him yet?
I think we do. We'll see if we can't get a hold of a driver of that, you know, Coors number 4, the old red and white on Bill Elliott paint scheme, being piloted by our friend Chris Elliott tonight. Chris, it's off Phil LaCasse and Full Velocity, my friend. Do you have a copy?
Phil, is that you talking to me? How you doing, bud?
I'm doing well, my friend. Out there in that awesome-looking number 9 car. You've been up there through the, you know, through the early part of the race, you know, up racing for the lead. Had some issues there leaving pit road, buddy. The car all right, and we're going to see the 9 car go back forward?
Yeah, I got out there a little too hot and spun the tires, spun it around. I'm like, oh my goodness, I didn't just do that, because got a fast hot rod. This Ford Course is running well, but we'll just thank goodness the caution came out.
What you got that all of us don't have out there tonight, you got a tag team partner out there with Jeffrey out there on the racetrack waiting tonight. I think he may have picked up a little bit of damage there from that last little skirmish, but is the plan for you guys to hook up and get together and try to go out there and finish 1-2 here later on?
Yeah, that's the whole deal there. We raced a lot together, and we try to stay together and stay away from the wrecks and just stay near the top to the front until the end, and then go for it, you know.
Well, Chris, you're going to be mired back. Oh, looks like about around that 10th spot here on the restart. We have a lot of laps here left to go. If you guys can, you know, stay under the green flag conditions, you'll have at least one more green flag pit stop to make. So what's the thinking here? If you get under green flag, you got to come to pit road. Is it time to take a no-tire stop, 2-tire stop? What do you think you would do? And does that all depend on where you are on the racetrack in the pack at that point?
Yeah, it all depends, you know, like we were going to top off just now. We decided not to, but 2 tires at least every time, though. I think that's the way to go.
Well, Chris Elliott, once again, awesome to talk to you as always. Good to see you out here, part of the field here tonight. And I'm not going to let you have that sponsor shout out yet. I'm going to make you earn that with a top 3 podium finish here later on, my friend. But as always, good to talk to you, a guy who's followed us here closely at FEN now for a couple of months, and we're very gracious for that. So good to see you out there racing. And man, that's a Bill Elliott paint scheme you got out there, brother. You got to go out there and give that thing a good ride. Give it hell and park that thing in victory lane for us.
All right there, Phil. Appreciate it, bud. And you guys do a great job. I hope to see you in victory lane.
All right. Well, hopefully he goes down there and pays Joe Allen a visit here in about 42 laps from now, Todd. So we'll go back to green flag racing in about half a lap. But always good to talk to Chris Elliott there, Todd. Oh, one of the great guys out there.
Yeah, it's good to talk to Chris Elliott. Chris Elliott, a fantastic guy, has won quite a few races that I've seen him a part of. So it's nice to see Chris Elliott up here interviewing and able to be following us there for the Full Velocity Network. And again, like I said, stand-up guy Chris Elliott is in the number 9 machine.
I got to apologize to him. I was trying to get him back up to the race channel to get back into communication. I think I threw him in about 3 different channels up there. So my stuff was all stuttering. But yeah, good to talk to Chris Elliott. He's been around for a long time. Really good interview. So a guy who's followed us very closely since our inception here in our birth in the month of June here. So can't believe it's already been about 6 months we've been on the airwaves as a team. And I mean, it's so gracious. Can't ask for the best partners in the business. Joe Allen, Todd Stanton. You bring guys like David Schildhaus, Blake McCallis into the FEN fold, and we've just come so diverse with some great personalities. A whole lot of different things we can do as far as iRacing, NR2 anything you guys may have out there racing. If you want to showcase it, we would love to show it off for you there. FullVelocityNetwork.com is the home of FEN, and we would love to come out and showcase all the great things that are going on. Check out our broadcast schedule. We have so much stuff coming up and a lot of stuff yet to announce here. So many great things in the fire. You're going to be seeing a lot of us come 2018. We're going to be super busy over the next couple of weeks. There's a lot of leagues round down their NASCAR seasons, and we're very, very thrilled and honored to have all the great racing we're going to give here night after night. The ultimate esport experience right here live on the Full Velocity Network. But Todd, we're about to hopefully get this thing back under green flag conditions. Looks like it's going to be Walt Coburn, Jeffrey Elliott, Josh Judson, Nelson Rodriguez, and Don Dolson's rebounded. That's going to be your top 5 as we await the restart here. Believe the field, trying to get back in to get my stuff loaded here. Believe they're in the backstretch here, getting ready for a restart.
Yeah, that we are indeed on the back straightaway. But also, I want to clarify on esport. Esport experience also means not just sim racing. We broadcast. We'll broadcast anything you throw our way. We'll broadcast a golf tournament, a fishing tournament, PUBG, Players Unknown Battleground, we'll Madden, everything. We will broadcast anything you guys want to throw at us. We'll come up with a way to broadcast it here live over the internet. We'll get the announcing team together. And, yeah, Madden would be cool, wouldn't it, Phil? Let's do some broadcasting of Madden. That would be great.
Well, that'd be something I would be totally into as a guy who's probably logged a whole lot more games of Madden than I'd ever like to admit, probably calling about 100,000 at this rate, if not more than that. So, yeah, that'd be cool. Anything you guys got playing out there, we'd love to showcase anything you got going on. Get a hold of us, contact us, and we'll schedule a date to give you the ultimate esport experience. As Todd said, not just sim racing. We'll do anything under the sun that you've got to offer here. Now, working lap number 50, put 51 on the board. We've got a little less than 43 laps remaining here, Todd. We're waiting to restart. Walt Coburn, Jeffrey Elliott, Josh Judson going to be your top 3. They look over the starter stand, waiting for that green flag to unhurl. Looks like we're waiting, and taking a long time to get down there. Green flag now finally back in the air.
Green flag in the air for the 070 machine of Walt Coburn out front in that Krispy Kreme sponsor machine, the 56 of Jeffrey Elliott running in that second spot. Immediately dives down to the bottom of the track to try to get around the 070 machine. They're side by side, and look at Jeffrey Elliott. Power move down to the inside. He's to the lead.
He's to the lead, but they're almost 3 wide further on back. Don Dolson brought the 04 to the inside of the 42 car. The 42 car, everybody stacked up. That is Sean Mosley. Also, Josh Judson, the 27 was there. And unfortunately, Todd, it looks like more contact on the racetrack. A multiple car incident off of turn number 2. That's going to put us back under the caution flag once again. That's the old adage. Cautions breed cautions, and it may almost be time at Talladega to page our old friend Dr. Green there, Todd.
Yeah, Dr. Green, he gets quite expensive, though, so we're going to have to wait for one more call of yellow flag, so hopefully we don't get it, so we have to page Dr. Green, because it costs an awful lot of money to page him up and get him to fly to Talladega, because he's an awful busy man.
Well, we certainly don't want to see that, but, man, Joe is going to have a wild replay to show. There were cars spinning. Saw a couple of guys on 2 wheels, guys spinning, trying to misdirect. Carnage and mayhem, Joe, off of turn number 2. No better way I can say it. You got a lot of wild things to show here. Show us what happened. Where did that start? I'm kind of curious to see where that kind of all broke out at.
Yeah, we're going to look at the 710 of Manny Diaz, guys, going down the back straightaway. Looks like the 04 there tries to come up. Don Dolson tries to come up and get himself back into line. He was all the way down on the bottom. As he comes up, bumper hooks Manny Diaz there, as you can see. You see that car jerk to the right there, up into the 05. That's Ken Smith. They start spinning down the racetrack. Chris Elliott, we just talked with him under this caution. He's involved in it. There's the 43. That is... the 43 is involved in it as well, guys. I think the 88 of David Chen is back in this one. There's the 81 or the 87 or the 81 of Don Burgeon is in that. There's the 98. The 013's back in this one again, unfortunately. There's the 1 back there. He's involved in this, of Hector Medlin. He's involved in it. So just a parking lot on the back straightaway. Something you're not used to seeing. Talladega, not normally a parking lot. Some of the fastest speeds. I mean, these guys are turning upwards of 215 miles an hour when they're up to full song here. So tough break for a lot of these guys. This is going to damage a lot more race cars, guys. And you know, to anybody that is familiar with super speedway racing, this isn't like your normal 1.5 miles or your short tracks where if you get a little bit of damage, you can get away with it. The moment you get damage at a super speedway, especially at a track like Talladega where they're running this no plate edition of it, where these guys are turning upwards of 215 miles an hour, this is really going to hurt your aero package, and these guys are going to feel the effects of this damage from the multiple wrecks that they've been involved in so far this evening, and that's really going to hurt their chances towards the end of this of trying to make a run at possibly a race win here. And that's gonna, you know, really change the picture towards the end of the race on who's gonna work with who. We know the Elliots were wanting to work with one another towards the end of this race, but with Chris being involved in multiple accidents here tonight, not sure how much he's gonna be able to help Jeffrey up there or not. So a lot of stories to follow as this thing continues on, guys. Tough break. We'll throw this thing back in slow motion one more time just to show all the viewers the big wreck here, and just nowhere for a lot of these guys to go. So back up to you guys in the booth.
All right, yeah, a lot happening there. I mean, there's stuff breaking out. I mean, I'm a guy at a place like a Talladega, kind of always migrates toward the back, tries to miss one of these things. But at a wreck like this there, Todd, it took up the entire racetrack. It took up the entire infield. I mean, you're hard on the brakes at this point, just looking for a hole, and looks like for about 15, about 15 drivers there was no hole to find, and everybody, it seems like, got a little bit of piece of the action here, spinning out or making contact, and a couple of guys took some really good licks there.
Yeah, a couple of guys did take some good licks as those guys, like you said, looked like a parking lot, and it's one of those things that you have to pray that you're going to make it through, and sometimes praying isn't even enough to make it through those wrecks. As you'll get sideswiped, all kinds of things happen at Talladega. Trust me, I've been on the receiving end of a lot of those wrecks, up in the air over the catch fence. You know, it could be a nightmare, and it'll certainly end your night.
Well, you'll call it receiving end. I'll call it's just Todd being a race car driver and causing whole sorts of chaos. But we'll leave that for another day, another show, maybe another race. We can go out there and see Todd, put his old number 32 up to the front of a restrictor plate track, and then, piss it all away under the last 5 laps, running in the top 5. We've seen him do it before, and if I know any better, we'll probably see him do it again. But awaiting a restart here at the Talladega Super Speedway. I believe the lights are out atop the full velocity pace car here tonight. Well, the lights are still on, so I got to actually be smart and maybe click back to the live feed as I was back here reviewing the replay of what's going on. Field in turn number 3, lights are still indeed on. So it's going to be Nelson Rodriguez, your current race leader, Robin Hudson, Christian Torres, Don Bergen, Ken Smith, your current top 5. 6 through 10, we find Jeffrey Elliott, Harry Codian, Josh Judson, Walt Coburn, Don Dolson currently in the 10th spot. Hector Medell in 11th. Wayne Dinger is 12th. Charles Couch 13th. Chris Elliott 14th. Bullet Bob Dixon, our pole sitter. He's mired now back in the 15th position. It's Old Smoke Larry Coles. He's running 16th in the old 14 car. Connor Metz to 24. He is currently 17th. Dave Williams is 18th. Ed Vaughn 19th. And Greg Artlip, he finds himself back in the 20th position. 21st is Carl Bergucci. He's on the lead lap. Manny Diaz is 22nd. Believe he's on the tail end of the lead lap in the 710. Sean Mosley, the number 42, he is currently 23rd. He is 1 lap down to the field. 24th. 2 laps down, we find our buddy old DC David Chin. 2 drivers retired from the event. Old Autry Waits in the number 416 and Billy Rose aboard number 6. That's your full field rundown, sponsored by your friends at the Full Velocity Network. Again, find us at our home base, fullvelocitynetwork.com, Todd. As we're awaiting a restart here, 3 quick caution flags here, working that lap 54 after we saw the first 40 laps here go caution-free. I want to call and page these guys. Let's see some more green flag racing here at Talladega.
Yeah, I definitely want to see some more green flag racing here at Talladega. Those guys put on a whale of a show through the first 40 laps. Now, like you said, slowed by 3 yellow flags right back to back to back. And that's, I know that's better for these guys. It's not what these guys want. I know pacing around yellow flag at Talladega is something that I don't like necessarily. And I know these guys are not going to like it either because they want to make some ground. They want to showcase their league here on the Full Velocity Network.
They absolutely do. And here in the Aero 88 mod tonight, Gary talked about here a little bit ago, these guys, run a whole bunch of old school mods. And I think the very favorite these guys run on a Saturday night there, Todd, the old NCTS 09 mod. I know I probably had about 1,000 trucks painted up in that thing. That was a mod that was so good to this community for so many years. That was so frequent. Yeah, we've all moved on to newer things, with the CWS 2015 mod and beyond. But the old NCTS 09, probably my favorite mod that this game has ever seen in its 15 years of existence, and really, really cool to see these guys out there still doing it with it.
Yeah, that's one of those things that that was one of my favorite mods too, Phil. I probably I probably got I would say 100 trucks painted for that mod over the years, if not even more than that. One of my favorite trucks came. It was number 32 Miller Genuine Draft, Rusty Wallace lookalike 32. Dano Skins painted it, another throwback type of guy. So that was fantastic, and that was one of my favorite trucks.
Man, old Dano Skins. I can't wait to go over and see the guys at Excel Racing. I know they're on the docket here in a couple of weeks at the Homestead Miami Speedway. Excel Cup Series rounding out. I believe that's a Tuesday night, November the 21st. We'll have it live, flag to flag, here on the Full Velocity Network as part of this busy gaggle of coverage here. I believe we're going to be double billed here the next couple of Tuesday nights. So you guys are going to see a whole lot of weird new stuff from us. You'll see the crew kind of split off into 2, and we'll be simulcasting 2 different streams here for the first time on Full Velocity Network. So hope you guys are ready for that. I'm not sure I'm quite ready for it. We're going to see where that crazy evening is going to come, but can't wait to go over and see Chris and Dano and all the guys here in a couple of weeks at Excel. Said that the last race of the Excel Cup Series at the Homestead Miami Speedway. We're going to see a whole lot of Homestead here the next couple of weeks. Seen a whole lot of a lot of these great racetracks over the last couple of weeks. So a whole lot of Martinsville. Good to get out of there is, the Cup cars all moved over Texas Motor Speedway, over to Phoenix here in a couple of weeks, and the big finale at the Homestead Miami Speedway for the entire NASCAR racing community. So I think we're ready for a restart here, Todd. The pace car has found its way to pit road. We're going to see Nelson Rodriguez the first time tonight. He's going to lead the field to green flag now, working lap number 55.
Yeah, green flag is I'm kind of confused here. I really am kind of confused. I think green flag's in there, Phil.
No, whatever reason, the green flag was waved off. Not sure exactly where the reasoning was for that. Pace car, I believe, did come on. It was on pit road, I'm pretty certain. The lights were out atop the pace car. The lights are out around the speedway. So we're waiting for green flag racing, and these guys just going to let the suspense build even more and even more. I mean, what do you think, Joe? I want to get back to green flag racing. I want to see what this thing's going to do. So, I mean, we're past halfway, Todd, while we get a stall in the action. What do you say it's time for some quick full velocity picks? What do you think, Joe?
Nah, I think you're right. I think it's time we get some full velocity picks in here halfway. Probably one of the earliest picks we've done, so we can't really cherry pick on whoever's running up front. With it being at Talladega, you never really know who's going to be there at the end because it's always consistently changing. So I think we're probably going to start with Mr. Todd Stanton. Todd, you get the first pick this evening.
Well, yeah, I sucked last time, so yeah, you're indeed right. I'm not very good, and I'm sorry, guys. I apologize if you get the black cloud here, because the last 3 or 4 weeks for me that I made these picks, it's not gone well for the driver that I've picked. So I apologize, but maybe you can turn me into a new winning machine here tonight and be the guy here at full velocity that takes away this black cloud away from me and gives it to Joe or let's say Phil. So I'm going to go with the number 05 of Ken Smith. I've seen him win here in that 05 machine. I like the Aussie. I like the Team Aussie Marlboro sponsor machine. Kind of gives me a throwback to Team Terror Racing TTR days when they hear about the TTR line. I used to be a part of that team, and we used to run Marlboro schemes also in our servers. So I'm going to go with 05 of Ken Smith.
All right, back under green flag racing, Nelson Rodriguez, Robin Hudson lead the field to the green flag. Ken Smith, the 05, restarted third, but he's going to be under fire already from the 56 of Jeffrey Elliott. He's going to pull to the inside. We'll call this racing action for almost after the lead. Elliott to the inside of Hudson. We may see him go make a run all the way up to the Rodriguez car, the 7 car to the inside. Great racing for that second position on the backstretch there, Todd.
Yeah, great racing for the second position, but I'm going to throw it down to Phil. I believe, Phil, I'm going to throw it right back to you. You got to make your pick while we're under green flag racing here. I know we're under yellow, but you got to make your pick real quick here.
Well, let's get this clear. We're on the Full Velocity Network where everybody's a winner, so let's get that out of the way right now. And you got to give it to me to make the pick because, I mean, you guys need to stick to winning to PUBG and just allow me to make the winning picks here on FVN like I've done the last couple of weeks. So rolling up through the field here, I think Ken Smith was a really good pick there, but I'll go one better. I'm going to take, let's say the number 13 of Harry Codian. We've seen Harry come so close to winning on our airways before. I think Harry Codian going to pick up his first official win here on FVN tonight. I think he's well overdue. He's got the car in the top 5, and I think Harry, a very clean, very good super speedway driver. So that's my pick, Todd. I'll take Harry Codian on the 13.
Yeah, pretty solid pick. But Joe, we're going to leave the best picker for last here for the whole season. You're leading the points in this tally that I have. So go ahead, take it away.
Yeah, I can't help that, I have the best average. That's just how it is. Phil talks about how he's been the best. Well, I'm the best, Phil. That's just how it goes. And I'm the best for a reason because you guys seem to leave some of the best guys out on the playing table for picks, like the guy that I'm following on screen right now, that number 56 of Jeffrey Elliott. You guys left him. He's been running up front all night. He's avoided most of the wrecks. Don't sweat too much right now. He's running in the 7th or 8th position, but he will be up there at the end of this thing. He will take down the win, and I'll get to have another chat with the guy that I picked in victory lane. I've been accustomed to doing that lately, and I'll get to do it again tonight when Jeffrey gets up there and wins.
Man, if that's a guy who doesn't got a whole lot of confidence and, dare I say, a big head right now, picking guys on full velocity, winning the old PUBG matches last night. I mean, even I think I've seen him win race on the racetrack here recently too. It's starting to become a memory. I think Todd may win one here soon, but Joe Allen with some confidence picks down there in the full velocity booth here tonight. Good pick there for Jeffrey Elliott. Todd taking Ken Smith, and I take once again, getting even now who I did, Harry Codian in the 13, just a little bit of half-timers going in. But we're back under green flag racing, now working lap number 60, and looks like an old Stanley, the number 05 of Ken Smith, Todd, the old Marlboro machine. He's leading this train on the outside lane. Harry Codian right there until these guys jostling back and forth. Now 3 wide off of turn 4 for about the 5th spot.
Yeah, 3 wide. As I was watching Walt Colburn in that 070 machine, he had to back out of the throttle there. I thought there was going to be another big wreck there in the middle portion of that event. Right now, Ken Smith is leading here, flying by the line here. Lap 60 complete of 94, so 34 more laps to go. Here comes Nelson Rodriguez down to the bottom side in that number 7 machine. I'm going to throw it down to the YouTube chat box. We made our picks. Now it's time for you guys to make your picks. I know you have a favorite out there. Shout it out on YouTube, and we'll make sure we try to get it here on the Full Velocity Network. Meanwhile, Nelson Rodriguez leads the number 56 of Jeffrey Elliott. Right there knocking on his door is the 05 machine of Ken Smith.
Yeah, it's side-by-side racing. 2nd spot now, but Ken, you see him kind of run the middle, and he drifts that car up to the high lane. He enters the corner. That's going to lose that spot, not only to Jeffrey Elliott, but now Chris Elliott on the inside. The number 9 starting to march back forward. Those guys side by side for the 4th spot. Outside not getting that runoff at turn 4 they're usually accustomed to there. So maybe it's Ken Smith, Todd, maybe playing with that line a little bit, trying to find maybe where is the best place to get that momentum. He does the same thing again. He starts in the middle. He drifts all the way up high. He's surrendering time on the racetrack doing so. What do you think he's doing right now out there, the old Ken Smith, the old Stanley car in the 05?
Well, he's running what we used to call, he's running up high. So he's running that Tally Rally line is what they would call it. This is a Tally Rally version of the track. It's supposed to be the better line here. And right now running on the top side of the speedway, trying to make something happen. Now Jeffrey Elliott stuck in the sucker hole there. He's trying to get up in front of the 05 of Ken Smith. He's going to be able to do so. Now Ken Smith tangoing with the number 56 machine, trying to make the outside line work, but the inside line is prevailing there, Phil.
No, it certainly is. And Jeffrey Elliott made a bold move in the 56, and he was competing with his brother there. Who is the better Elliott? Well, I can tell you one who it's not. It's certainly not Chase. As we got Chris and Jeffrey out here tonight. The Elliott brothers out there racing inside the top 10. Chris has that 9, nestles up in that second spot. Jeffrey's got the 56. He's kind of rolling back on the outside lane. He's picked up Ken Smith. He's picked up Harry Cody in. Those guys got a head of steam there, Todd. What an awesome run there is now they pick up, I believe that's the 72 of Wayne Dinger up on the outside lane. But those guys got a really good head of steam now off of turn 4.
Yeah, really good head of steam off of turn number 4 down here through the tri-oval. Here comes the number 7 machine making a high charge here on the high side, pinching that bottom groove down, trying to keep them down at bay. And that makes it so that top side can work traffic just a little bit better and try to make up some time here on this bottom groove. But Nelson Rodriguez right now trying to get up alongside that 04 machine. The 04 is actually in that fourth spot, now in third actually, correct me there. The number 7 now moving into the third spot. That is Nelson Rodriguez in that number 7 machine, as he's now getting by the 04 machine of Don Dolster. He's got help from that number 56 of Jeffrey Elliott. So the high groove starting to make some moves.
Yeah, high groove definitely starting to come in there. But, looking at Don Dolson, he's kind of drifting up to that inside lane up to the high side. That's allowing those top lane cars to really get a really good launch off of now turn number 4. It is a side-by-side drag race in the lead now between our Chris Elliott and that number 7 of Nelson Rodriguez. Give it to Nelson at the line. That's going to put the Elliott brothers, Jeffrey and Chris. That's not going to be side-by-side racing. For position number 2 now off of turn 2, his inside lane starts to get that charge.
Yeah, inside lane starting to get the charge, but the outside lane now prevailing down the back straight away. The back chute is now the 56 of Jeffrey Elliott, goes from high to low. Here comes Nelson Rodriguez blocking that charge here. They all drop back down to the bottom side here, right in front of the number 9 of Chris Elliott, the 05 of Ken Hansen, Ken Hansen. Ken Smith on the outside. He was trying to, he was by himself there for a little bit. But here comes Jeffrey Elliott now, battle for the lead with a 56. He's got help from Chris Elliott.
Now the Elliots have hooked up in the low side, trying to make that run at Nelson Rodriguez in a turn number 1 and 2, 66 laps of 94. So we are 2/3 the way home. How is this thing going to end in this last third of the race? We still have at least one more round of green flag pit stops we may have on the docket, but hopefully it stays under green. These guys are really mixing it up good. 2x2 racing from first all the way back to that 16th position. Everybody's right there in line, and no line right now has that clear advantage. We saw the 7 have the lead entering turn 3 off of turn 4. The 56 of Elliott now got the lead, so too close to call, and you really can't keep up with the way the passing goes on these big tracks. But these guys really giving it a go. But at what point, Todd, do you have this race playing back in reverse and knowing I got to come to pit road at least one more time?
Yeah, indeed, they got to come to pit road at least one more time. And I've been monitoring this YouTube chat box there, Phil, and we put it out to the YouTube chat box to make their picks. And Noah and Mo Perry down there in the YouTube chat box both want to see Connor Metz win here this evening, but they would also like to see Jeffrey Elliott. They're both saying that he's been up there all night, and they wouldn't mind seeing Jeffrey Elliott. So some of them going with Joe's pick, but I'm going to stick with they're going with Connor Metz down there. Is they've been cheering him on down there. There's a lot of Connor Metz fans down there.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of Connor Metz. I've seen a lot of the 78 of Christian Torres fans out there. Christian is, mired back. He's leading the second pack, 6 seconds off the pace. The 78 was involved in a humongous wreck there, currently back there in 17th, so may not be a factor for the win. But Connor Metz, the 24 hole, he's also back there. So both those guys may not be contending for the win. But another multiple car wreck up front, the way these guys are racing, could certainly change the complexion of the race. But they are side by side for the lead once again, just as they've been for basically the last dozen laps here, and now it's the outside lane prevailing with Nelson Rodriguez there. Harry Codian's becoming a player there, Todd. He's starting to creep into the picture in that number 13. I think that's a good pick for the win. He's the first car in the outside lane. He may make a run for the lead for the first time tonight in the outside lane.
Yeah, Todd stepped away there for just a second, Phil, to go and get you and me some hot dogs down there on the Talladega infield. So, you know, as you said, Harry Codian, good pick. He always seems to find himself towards the front at the end of these things, but don't count out some of those other hard-charging guys up there. We see the 27 of Josh Judson is up there. The 05 of Ken Smith has been there all night. The 070 of Walt Coburn has made his way back up there. There's the 1 car of Hector Medlin. He's been involved in a couple accidents. He's made his way up towards the front. And we still got 1 pit stop left to go here this evening. Just under 30 laps to go. About 24 left on the docket here before the end of this thing here tonight. So we're going to have 1 more pit stop, which is going to shake things up. We've seen green flag pit stops really separate the field, and it looks like the 05 is going to dive down on pit road. That could be costly for him, though, Phil. As he comes down, it looks like he's going to be the only guy to come down on pit road. That's really going to hurt his chances at maintaining speed with the draft pack here and trying to stay up with this front pack of 15 or so cars that were up there with him. So that's going to be something to watch for that number 05 machine. Yeah,
and he's not going to be able to make it on fuel from here stopping right now either. So that's definitely going to hamper the outlook for Ken Smith in the 05. And, you know, Todd will love that when he gets back. But I need to page Todd. You know, you say he's out there traveling for hot dogs. Well, we just left Martinsville, Joe. We did about 500 laps of coverage at Martinsville. I think between the 3 of us, we consumed way too many hot dogs this last week. So I'll make the page to Todd. If you can display that awesome-looking number 070 car of Walt Coburn. I mean, look at that sponsor. Krispy Kremes. I mean, that sounds like a perfect combination. Talladega and Krispy Kremes, Joe. Let's see if we can't cancel Todd's page for hot dogs. Give me a little bit of those Krispy Kreme donuts, man. That's always a good favorite.
Yeah, you know, I'm not gonna lie, you're right. Krispy Kreme donuts does sound good. We were just at Martinsville running a ton of laps down there, and you know, nothing tops the Martinsville dogs. That's just how it is. And as I say that, page Dr. Green one more time. Maybe we're under caution here. This could potentially put these guys inside their fuel window. They'll come down pit road. They're gonna have to save a little bit. But I'm going to throw it back to you so you can waste a little bit of time talking about the on-track action. You can daydream a little bit more about some Krispy Kreme donuts as well. I got some work down here in the booth to go do.
Yeah, you certainly do. And looks like there was a little bit of disagreement of space out there, you know, about the back half of that lead pack. And we saw this happen earlier with the 38 of Dave Williams. Unfortunately, I think this happened again. It looks like a little disagreement of space between him and it looks like, Joe, the 14 of our old smoke there, Larry Coles. Is that right? I believe contact with those 2 guys has put us down under caution flag for the 4th time tonight.
That is correct. 38 of Dave Williams in that good wrench black and gray, the Intimidator scheme, and the 14 of Larry Coles. Looks like, you know, the 38 been trying to do a little bit of the Intimidator Dale Earnhardt style of driving, but he hasn't been doing too well at it, unfortunately. Involved in 2 accidents here tonight. He's in the middle there. It looks like the 14 starts to come up the track, though. I don't know if he just, you know, wasn't sure if the 38 was there or not, but really nowhere that, you know, the 38 could have went there in that situation. Unfortunately, Dave Williams, just nothing he could do there. The 14 came up, ran all over his driver's side door, and spun them both down into the inside. And I saw this happen on the front stretch when we were talking. Thought maybe they got this all straightened out for each other, and you know, we were going to stay green as the 14 came back up onto the track. Oh, there's some contact up there with the 92, unfortunately, as the 38 spins right up into the middle of the track as well. Luckily, that wasn't in the middle of traffic, but unfortunately, that number 92 machine there of, who is that? That's Ed Vaughn. We haven't seen a lot from Ed Vaughn tonight. He's been kind of biding his own time in the back as well, probably trying to avoid these bigger accidents, and fortunately just nowhere that Ed Vaughn and that 92 could have went here either. So as that 14 comes right back up into the middle of the racing service in front of them. So tough break for those guys in the back. Coming down to most likely what is going to be our last green flag pit stops there for some of these guys in the next couple of laps. This is really going to stretch things out on their fuel mileage. They're really going to have to try to save some fuel under this caution here to see if they can make it to the end. So fuel mileage definitely going to be the name of the game here towards the end of this if this thing were to stay green, Phil. Back up to you guys in the booth.
All right, under green flag conditions, I wonder how much of a detriment or a help this would be, Todd, to your pick, the old 05 of Ken Smith. He was the first guy to come to pit road under green, came all by his lonesome, but he didn't lose the lead lap here. He was able to stay on the tail end of the lead lap before the contact with the caution flag. So he may be the smartest guy in all of Talladega right now. The question is, can you save enough fuel under caution flag? I think he's going to save probably about an average of about 4 laps at a place like Talladega. Is it possible at all in any stretch of the imagination to stretch 4 laps of fuel, or is he going to need more caution to make that happen? All right, well, Joe, since Todd wasn't paying attention, I'll ask you that same question. What do you think of the 05? Can he save that amount of fuel out there under caution, or is he going to need more yellow flag to do so?
I don't know, Phil. I don't know that that's going to be possible. We're talking he pitted at least 24 laps. We're talking probably, what, 20 to 21 laps on fuel here. Even with the caution laps, it's tough. It's tough to save fuel under green flag conditions here. You really don't save that much under caution. You save a little bit. If he tops off, maybe, but I'm afraid that he pitted well outside of the pit window to be able to do this. If he does, I'll be surprised. I'm gonna hope and I'm gonna cheer that he does. I don't know. I think trying to save 4 or 5 laps at Talladega, that's gonna be real tough to do. He's gonna need a lot of caution laps to assist him in doing so. If it goes green from here on out, though, I don't think he's gonna be able to do it.
I think that's a long one to kind of do too. So under the caution flag now, 73 laps in, these guys coming on the pit road. They're hoping for the last time here under the caution flag, hoping to stretch it out. You got to think this whole field is probably going to stretch it out under, the one to go to come down here and take all the fuel they can. But I can happily report now back alongside my broadcast partner, Too Tall Todd Stanton, has returned. But Todd, I mean, you've come back kind of empty-handed. Looks like you grabbed a cold one, but I don't see no junk food in your hand. But what the heck is that on your shirt? That looks like mustard. What the heck, dude?
Well, it's definitely not from a hot dog. They don't. The hot dogs here are a lot better, or not a lot better than the ones in Martinsville. So I definitely have to say Martinsville ones are better. But it wasn't a hot dog here this time. It was I wouldn't get one of those cheeseburgers.
Oh, imagine that! And our buddy Todd Stanton, what a good teammate. Maybe he'll go get us some food, get a snack. He just kind of ups and runs and, does whatever he's got to do. And guy makes a pit stop for a cheeseburger, Joe, and brings us back nothing. I know we got a kind of FedEx delivery down there, kind of like the old, FedEx, the food order down there in the booth. But I feel like I get all that Denny Hamlin sitting here alongside me, call out for food, and he just kind of railroads me up here. Comes back with a cheese stain on his shirt of all things. I mean, come on now.
Yeah, I'm a little disappointed by that, to be completely honest. All the things we do for Todd, we have one simple request. All we want is some Krispy Kreme donuts, Todd. And instead, you go and stuff your face with a cheeseburger, and you come back with stains all over your shirt, and then you got to rub it in our face and make us sit here hungry for the last 20 laps of this race before we can go get food for ourselves.
Now, what a good partner he is there. Todd, you got anything to say for yourself here while you recap what's going on here under caution?
Well, somebody's got to replace Rich every once in a while,
Yeah, that's an old shot fired, is our old buddy Rich Patton. Used to make it a habit to us in the control booth for years to, always try to give him for insight and kind of always give the pass off of, nope, can't talk. I'm eating right now, and Todd just kind of pulled the old 1-2. So nothing really to report here to this update as far as the standings go. I'm seeing all our leaders keep coming on and off, ducking on the pit road, packing these things full of fuel from here is at the line. We're going to put 75 of 94 on the board. Believe lights are going to go out atop the pace car this time around. And so, yes, they do, in fact, go out. So we'll put this thing back under the green flags with about 19 laps to go. I think from here, Todd, safely we can say these guys can all make it back here now with a full fresh fuel tank. But what do you think we're going to see here in these last 18, 19 laps? I mean, we saw some good racing. We saw a lot of guys kind of committed to single file racing. We saw some side by side through the last little run. Is business about to pick up here in these last 20 laps? I think the answer is yes.
Yeah, business is indeed going to pick up. and we're going to have Dr. Green on hand. I do believe we're going to see 4 wide race, and these guys want to win on a full velocity network, and we're 19 laps. I think they're all going to be good on fuel. I don't think there's going to be any clutching, and these guys are going to go send it as far as they can, and hopefully right off into the sunset. One of these guys that don't have a lot of damage. Some of these guys do have some heavy damage, but it seems like they're able to run with the pack. But we know just as much as the next guy there, Phil. If you got a little bit of damage, it's really, really hard to pull out and pass.
Well, it certainly is. So we'll have to update what's going on as we await the restart. It's going to be Harry Codian, the number 13. He'll restart as the point man. Josh Judson, the 27, the 070 of Walt Coburn, the 72 of Wayne Dinger, the 56 of Jeffrey Elliott. He's going to be 5th. 6th, we find Hector Medellin. Larry Coles is currently 7th. Dave Williams is 8th. Bullet Bob Dixon, he is currently 9th, and it's going to be Don Dolson, the 04. That's going to be your top 10 single file, old school style lap down cars to the inside, lead lap cars to the outside. So that's a different twist on what we've come accustomed to with double file restarts over the years. Old school style to here is these guys old school feel, old school mod with the Aero 88s, and doing some old school type Talladega racing here tonight. Here in Alabama, live on Full Velocity. Who's it going to be to pick this checkered flag up here tonight, live on the airwaves? Harry Codian's going to be first to the line. Green flag going to go back in the air, Todd. Waiting. There it is. Green flag up in the air.
Green flag is back in the air, and that's Harry Codian leading there with the Fireball sponsor machine. And I love the tailgate, Phil. I love it. It says "Tastes like heaven, burns like hell," and that's what he's doing right now. Is he's way up front here, trying to lead these guys, and he's going to try to run off in the sunset and maybe have some of that Fireball after the end of this race.
Well, I sure hope he's sharing there. Hopefully he gets a victory lane. Hope he's sharing, because if he does, I may go down there and tackle Joe and take that victory lane interview. But yellow flag on the speedway. Yellow once again. Yellow's breed cautions here, and these guys having a tough go here on the restart at Talladega. Seeing the 98 of Greg Artlip. He is stuck down in the grass area, and not sure where that came from. Oh, big catastrophe there off of turn, down toward turn number 1. And I see multiple cars around, and Joe, I can't say, but it was pretty close to a roof surf there. That's another multiple car wreck. I mean, if we've had 2 or 3 big ones here at Talladega, this one, Todd, claims up, probably about another 8 or 10 more.
Yeah, and that's where we're going to have to. Dr. Green is on hand, so we're going to have to wait and see if we have to page him or not. But Mr. Joe Allen down there in the trailer is ready for a full velocity rewind once again here. Joe, take it away.
Thank you, Todd. We're going to focus on that blue and yellow Napa 013 of Carl Ragucci and the 88 of David Chin here in turns 1 and 2. Looks like David Chin all over the back bumper of the 013. We've seen he's been off the pace. He's had a lot of damage here so far tonight. David Chin goes up towards the top, and it looks like the 013 just keeps coming up the hill. Doesn't know that David Chin is there, or maybe, I don't know. I don't really have an explanation for that. Gets into the door of him, and just calamity ensues. The 88 spins down the track. 38 is involved in this accident. The 05 is involved in this accident. There's the 43, a guy that was running up front earlier in the event, that STP Ford Thunderbird there. He's spinning around. There's the 24 back there. The 98's back involved in this one. There's the 710 of Manny Diaz. He's involved in it. The number 7 of Nelson Rodriguez, the guy that was running up front, is involved in it. David Chin actually rolled over on his lid. Tough break for David Chin. That's really going to give him some engine damage, slow him down even more towards the end of this event. Charles Couts back there in the 01, guys. He's been involved in a lot of these accidents, just trying to play dodgeball back there with these things running in the back, trying to bide his time before he moves his way forward. So tough break for a lot of these guys. Just the lap cars. That's what we've seen. That's been the characteristic of these restarts. Is the lap cars look like they've been causing all sorts of issues on these restarts, whether it be due to damage from prior wrecks or just pure mistakes all over the racetrack. So very unfortunate break for some of these guys that were running up front. A lot of heavy contenders that we've seen up front. Manny Diaz in the 710. Then we have the 7 of Nelson Rodriguez. He was running up there as well. The 9 of Chris Elliott, who has been running up front. It looks like he was back there. I don't know if Chris was involved in it, but he was certainly close to it. The 38 was back there involved in it. We've seen him run up towards the front. That's Dave Williams as well. So tough break for these guys. Hopefully we can get this thing back under green and some of these guys can make their way back forward. But regardless of that, we're going to have a battle up towards the front. These guys should be good to go on fuel towards the end of this thing now, and it's just going to be a shootout to the end. Back up to you guys in the booth.
Yeah, definitely going to be a shootout towards the end there, Joe, and going to give a good shout out to Charles Couts in that 01 machine. I did come up with a nickname for him there, Joe. CC the Cow. He always asked me about slaughtering his name, so I told him I was going to call him CC, and then we added the cow in there for Charles Couts in the 01 machine.
CC the Cow. That's an interesting nickname, Todd. I like that. I don't know that Charles is going to like that too much when he comes back and watches the replay back through, but we'll probably get an earful for that one here over the next couple of days, but that's all right. It's all in good fun with our buddy Charles.
Yeah, it's indeed a lot of good fun with him, and it's good to see him running good, but it's also, he's been in a couple of wrecks, and that's a tough break for Charles Couts in that 01 machine. He still looks like his car's in pretty decent looking shape, but meanwhile up front is Harry Codian still, and that number 13 machine, Josh Judson, and that number 27 is running second. Third is the 070 of Walt Coburn. Wayne Dinger in that number 72, he's running fourth. Fifth right now is the 56 of Jeffrey Elliott. 6 is the 09 of Don Dolston. Charles Couts in the 01. He's running 7th. Hector's running 8th. 9th is Larry Coles. And 10th right now is Ed Vaughn in that number 92 machine. Bob Dixon, our pole setter, he's running 11th. Christian Torres in the number 78. He's running 12th. Greg Artlip running 13th. Don Bergen in the number 81. He's running 14th. Manny Diaz running 15th. 16th is Chris Elliott. Ken Smith is 17th. Nelson Rodriguez is 18th. 19th is Sean Mosley in the number 42 machine. David Williams, the last car on the lead lap, and he's been involved in the last 2 wrecks. So the 38 of Dave Williams running in that 20th position. At the tail end of the field here, then Connor Metz and Robin Hudson in the number 4 machine. Those guys both 1 lap down to the field.
All right, I can help, Todd. I'm back. It was my turn to take the run down toward the concession stand, and I went looking there, Joe. And I think I did as proud. I wasn't going to go conventional, the old hot dog hamburger route like Todd did. I didn't go for the pizza. I didn't find the Krispy Kreme vendor. They say there's down one kind of adjacent to where the Full Velocity Network control booth is. So you may find one out there, but I kind of went a little bit off the grid there, Joe. They had these really nice loaded cheese nachos and top, with bacon and all. I mean, these are pretty good.
Oh, wow, Phil. That's big league right there. I appreciate that. I hope you're going to send a runner down to the booth and drop some of that off for me.
Oh, dude. I mean, unlike Todd, I take care of my buddies. They are full en route, a full round coming for you. And I tried to go out snazzy with the beverage, and but didn't have nothing that would kind of be in your realm. So, old style fashion soft drink coming your way. But I've got the 13 crew. I kind of plugged into their spotter, kind of took a peek and a thumbs up, and I said, hey, keep some of that Fireball cold. We're going to go throw one back down there with Joe in Victory Lane. So I think that's to be the plan. So you enjoy the fresh soft drink now and the order of food coming down your way, Joe. But we're going to prepare to go toss them back and have stuff on the Victory Lane. Because as Todd can say, and I know you agree, Todd, we come to Talladega, it is always a party now isn't it? We've done a whole lot of chaos in Talladega over the years.
Yeah, for quite a while, though, is with the van. And the van has been many places, jumping through the air and kind of stuff like that. Tonight we didn't bring the semi truck. Unfortunately, it was back at the shop for some repairs. But they usually have a lot of fun with those vehicles, and a lot of bad things happen in the infield of Talladega. We'll just leave it at that.
Yeah. We got the air quotes there. Repairs. You know what it was? We wanted it to come down. Joe is in charge of driving the rig down here this week. The towing trailer along, and I think he went back there and just saw some of the leftovers. Todd left, last time, we were down here at Talladega streaming, and I think Joe kind of said there, Todd, I am not bringing this thing back down there. We just got the thing all cleaned up, and you guys made a whole holy terror of it, so we're not bringing the rig to Talladega. I think Joe's learned his lesson, but I'm ready to go back to racing here. We got 80 laps of 94 on the board. Waiting a green flag. I've seen a couple of these guys duck on the pit road. guys who may have been questionable on fuel come in, so they can take any worry out the window. But now look up to the front. We find the 13 of Cody Ann, the 27, Josh Judson, the 070 of Coburn, Wayne Heidinger, the 72, Jeffrey Elliott's there, the 56. I mean, you can look back into the back part of the top 10. Old CC the Cow, old Charles Couch Todd, he has come up into that 7th spot. We haven't talked a lot about Charles up there racing near the front. I mean, maybe all our buddy Charles can go up there, maybe steal a win here tonight on FEN.
Yeah, he might be able to. And with that flashy new nickname, it's going to be a fantastic show for him. I do believe, and that flashy new nickname should stick for him. And we'll see how that does for him. It may add a couple extra horsepower to his car.
It's going to add something, probably a couple knuckle sandwiches to Todd here after this race is done. But that is a great nickname, and he will have our head for it later. I will guarantee you that. But pace car onto pit road, going to put the field back into the 13 of Harry Cody Ann. Single file restart, leaders up to the top side with lap down cars. Can sadly report the likes of Carl Ragucci, David Shin, those guys have retired for the evening, so they join Audrey Waits and Billy Rose behind the wall. But green flag back in the air here, Todd. Little less than 13 now laps remaining. Harry Cody Ann looks like he's going to break out all by himself to the race lead. With these guys forming up in a pack, they're going to run him down in no time as they exit turn number 2.
Yeah, they're going to run him down in no time. Drafting help is going to help those guys out, and Harry Cody Ann is quite a ways out front there. Look at the run that Josh Judson and that number 27 has there. He dives down to the inside. Short work of Harry Cody Ann down into turn number 3, put Josh Judson to the lead.
Yeah, but I'm not counting a 13 out yet. I think he's a guy who will find dancing partners, and I think he'll dance his way all the way back up to the front. They're not done racing up front yet. Judson got up to the lead, but look at Walt Coburn. He's got the Krispy Kreme car, and he's looking all over to the low side. He's got the Dinger, Wayne Dinger. He was up there early in the going. As long as we're not making green flag pit stops, I think we can count Wayne as a player in this thing as well. The 72 now up to that 3rd spot. They're all single file. I don't think, Todd, they're going to stay that way long. They're going to be glued up in single file formation throughout the first half dozen there off of turn number 2.
Yeah, indeed. As they're starting to shift around now, we got high lane foreman there as these guys now dive back down to the bottom side. Oh, almost contact made between Dinger and Walt Colburn in that 070 machine. They're still side by side. Here comes Colburn to the lead here, trying to fight side by side with Josh Judson and that number 27 machine. They're 2 by 2 here, and these guys on the bottom side have a little bit more momentum. Here comes Harry Cody Ann, that 13. He's squeezing it down bottom around that 04 down Dolson in the wow, Harry Cody Ann putting his car in places where that's a little sketchy.
Sketchy is definitely the right word there, as he forced his way back in the line. Keep peeking at the 56 of Jeffrey Elliott. He's a second car to the inside lane. He keeps peeking out a little bit to the left underneath Walt Coburn. I was expecting almost a 3-wide maneuver. We may see it now as Walt washes up the racetrack up to that Josh Judson machine. Here comes Jeffrey Elliott to the bottom. Almost a 3-wide maneuver. Coburn stuck in that sucker hole, Todd, in the turn 3.
Yeah, that's a helpless feeling. The draft pulling from one side, the draft pulling from the high side, from the bottom side. It's just one of those things. You're weaving back and forth. You're trying to keep it out of the cars beside him. Now he's able to settle down. Now, nice battle. Here comes Robin Hudson. Here comes Don Dolson and that number 04 machine. Those guys on the bottom side, they're all following Jeffrey Elliott and that number 56 machine.
Yeah, all following the 56 Family Channel machine into turn number 1. Harry Cody Ann nestled right back there in line on the inside. Now he'll peek to the outside lane. Is Don Dolson, the 04, going to follow? Harry going to drift back down low. Oh, now, looks like the 56. I'm not sure if there was contact there, but Jeffrey Elliott all the way to the inside. Issues with the Family Channel machine, Todd, down the back straightaway.
Yeah, issues with the Family Channel. Jeffrey Elliott, down in the grass still. He's mowing the grass. He's still struggling back here in the back straightaway. No yellow flag, and the confidence and the win blows out of Joe Sales.
And maybe we can go back and get a quick look at that, too. Wasn't sure if there was contact there, but those guys up there racing for the lead. And I don't know if Harry got into the back of Jeffrey or Jeffrey got loose or what happened. No, looks like they may have had contact there. But now, Todd, we're under the yellow flag once again. A multiple car wreck down the front straightaway.
Well, Joe, I think Jeffrey Elliott just got the caution that he needed. His yellow flag is out, and a tough break for those drivers that were involved. There's quite a few drivers involved there on the front straightaway. So we're going to have to wait and see what's going to happen there with a full velocity rewind once again under yellow flag.
Somehow, as you said, Joe's pick gets the caution they needed. You know, maybe that might have been the best thing to happen to him there, Todd, as this one looks like it may have gobbled up about 6 or 8 cars here. I'm just getting back to look at it now. So as I'm looking at it for the first time, let's show our viewers what happened there, Joe. You ready with a full velocity rewind?
Yeah, thank you guys. Sorry about that. We went to the caution overlay screen. We were going to show the wreck on the back stretch, and then we caught the wreck on the front stretch, and they're still racing back. So missed a little bit of the live action there, but that's all right. We're going to focus on the 7 car. That's Nelson Rodriguez, the 710, and Manny Diaz in the 05 there. Coming down to the start-finish line here. Looks like the 7 starts to come down just a little bit as the 05 comes up. Manny Diaz and the 710 starts to come down. They make contact together down the front stretch. That's a huge break for the 56 there of Jeffrey Elliott to get him caught back up. Unfortunately, he made hard contact with the inside wall there. See the 7 car here is Rodriguez as he spins through the middle of the track, and I believe that is the 81 or the 80s, the 81 of Don Burgeon. Unfortunately, Don is he's had tough luck missing all the wrecks here this evening. See the 24 up there, that Donald Trump machine of Connor Metz. He's had some tough luck here tonight too. So tough luck for a lot of these guys late in the going. But we are just under 10 laps to go here now, guys, as well. So if you thought the action was heating up before, it's certainly going to heat up now. Under 10 laps to go. We're going to have a shootout to finish this thing, probably around 5 laps to go when this thing gets back under green flag conditions here at the Talladega Super Speedway. And I don't think we're anywhere near over from seeing this thing end just yet. Back up to you guys in the booth.
All right, so under the caution flag there, another multiple car, wild wreck there. A lot of good cars involved there, Todd. That's kind of can change the complexion of the entire race up front. I mean, the consistent one there, Cody Inn, Josh Judson, Walt Coburn. But you look further on back, you see guys like Hector Medillin now. He's up to 4th. Sean Mosley. I mean, we haven't talked about Sean, that mellow yellow 42 all night. He was off the lead lap at one point. He's now currently in the game. He's in the 6th spot. Larry Coles is up there. Ed Vaughn's in the top 10. I mean, names we haven't seen be a part of the complexion of this race all night long. Well, now all of a sudden they find themselves up in contention, and by the time they get to this restart, we'll probably have about 6 or 7 laps to go. So truly anybody's race since I have a top 10 right now.
Yeah, definitely anybody's race inside the top 10. And remember, racing back here under 10 to go, and these guys were racing hot and heavy back. And I know the 78 made hard contact to the outside there, and that was a tough break for him. And I believe something happened to the 56 of Jeffrey Elliott there, Phil.
Well, I saw the 56 car pull behind the wall. Looks like damage from that little wreck in the backstretch. Looks like may have really killed the nose of that thing, and without going out there and causing more carnage and thinking that car probably down on power, I can report Jeffrey Elliott's car is behind the wall when done for one night, as is the number 7 of Nelson Rodriguez. So that was 2 more really fast race cars taken out of this event. And better yet for our FVN picks there, Todd, maybe we can take Joe a couple of notches down off of that perch now, and he's not going to predict the winner here tonight.
Yeah, definitely not going to be able to predict the winner there. Gary Minkus down there in the YouTube chat box, going with Harry Codian and that number 13 machine. So I know he said it a couple of times. I'm trying to get Gary Minkus' opinion, and he's a little late to the call here. But Gary Minkus picking Harry Codian to win this race. He thinks he's got what it takes. Joe's driver obviously behind the wall. That's unfortunate for the 56 machine, and that's I believe Joe's first DNF here on the Full Velocity Network. So the black cloud must be his now.
Shots fired there, Todd. The black cloud must be mine. Oh my lord. Well, unfortunately, I'll take the blame for it tonight. I'll claim the black cloud. I made the pick for Jeffrey Elliott. He was up there running towards the front all night, and calamity struck, getting spun off the bumper of the 13 down the back straightaway, unfortunately. So that's going to end my picks night. Luckily, I still have the best average over the season so far for FVN, so I'll rebound next week. I'm not done with it just yet. We got another race here coming up on Sunday with our buddies over at the FTF Racing League for their Jones Cup Series and their 2017 playoffs. So I'll try my best to rebound coming up on Sunday, and we'll see if we can reverse the black cloud effect.
All right, and I swear that number 13 does not have, you know, FedEx decals underneath. Jeffrey Elliott does not need to worry about that. Harry Codian, unfortunate there. Looks like a little bumper contact gone wrong there that took the 56 to the inside wall and unfortunately has ended his night. But World Winning likes to go out. Hopefully this time around there, Todd. I mean, we're getting down here to almost like a 5-lap shootout at this point. But what kind of things can say Harry Codian do to keep this hungry crew behind them? I mean, we haven't seen a whole lot of speed from the 70 car. I think he's got a little bit of damage. Josh Judson, he's shown a little bit of muscle up there, but who do you see up there in that top, 6, 8, maybe 10 cars who may be able to make a big move and maybe threaten that 13 to maybe steal this win here?
I'm not sure there, Phil. That's a pretty good question. As the 13 is pretty strong. As Brian Wolf picking the 070 machine of Walt Coburn, but I'm not sure who's got what it takes here. And tandem partner, because I haven't seen a lot of these guys up towards the front, and some of these guys that were up towards the front have some pretty good damage.
No, that's kind of what I was making the observation on. I mean, I like the Codian pick. I really do. He's a guy I think long overdue. I mean, how many times over the years have we've had Harry on our airwaves, Todd, have seen him within laps up there in the lead or in position to win one of these things, and to see it go wrong in these last 5 laps. There's a guy way overdue to win on our airwaves. It's definitely got to be Harry Codian.
Yeah, it definitely does. It's Harry Codian, and that number 13 machine is a guy that's has graced victory lane on DRTV before, but he has not yet to grace victory lane here on the Full Velocity Network. So I'm not sure what's going to happen.
Yeah, I guess we'll have to wait and see, as we're about 1 lap away from a restart here. Is just it's a Thursday night, so football kind of goes off in the background here, and Todd's got one eye to the Bills here on probably the right side of his screen, so we apologize there for the delay in that, as both looking over guilty there. But awaiting the restart here, Codian's going to be your leader. Josh Judson, Walt Coburn, Hector Medellin, and Wayne Dinger. That's your current top 5. Sean Mosley 6th. Larry Cole 7th. Ed Vaughn is 8th. Ken Smith is back in the top 10. He is 9th. Charles Couts, he's got the 01 nestled in the top 10. Manny Diaz is 11th. 12th, we find Bob Dixon. Don Dolson 13th. Robin Hudson is 14th. Dave Williams at the 38, back there in the 15th spot. Greg Artlip, we haven't heard much from Greg all night long. He's nestled back with a damaged race car. He is 16th. Christian Torres, our outside pole sitter, he is currently 17th. Don Bergen, he is 18th to 81. And last car on the lead lap, Chris Elliott in the number 9. He is 19th. 19 cars left on the lead lap here with a 5-lap shootout. The lights are out. The Full Velocity pace car there, Todd. And as we head toward turn 3, pull those belts tight, partner, because this is probably the last restart we'll get all night long, and this may be the most insane one we've seen all night long.
I'm sure it's going to be insane. There's going to be 3 wide racing. I do believe you're going to see guys trying to make moves. Some of these guys are going to have to make some moves on the restart to try to get themselves in front of these guys that don't have a lot of damage or have no damage. As some might have a few specks here and there, and you want to get in front of the guys and make them push you. You don't want to be behind them, because sometimes you can't pull out a line. But like I said, Harry Codian kind of in the catbird seat here. Pace car makes that hard left-hand turn down to pit road here one more time, one final time. I believe this will be our last restart here at the Talladega Super Speedway. One question left to be answered. Who's it going to be here as they come down through the tri-oval? We're just waiting for that signal from the head flagger up there in the stand, and sometimes he's just a little bit slow here this evening, and I'm not sure why. Is the flagger getting ready? He's dancing up there on the flagger stand. Green flag's in the air. We're back to racing. Loud pedal is down. Lap and a half to get up to full song. And look at the number 1 making moves down to the inside already. All guys scattering here down into turn number 1.
Yeah, and I'm kind of concerned that number 1 may have not jumped a restart there, as he got a heck of a restart there. Walt Coburn, I'm not sure if that car did not come up to speed or the one just got on it way too hot. We'll have to kind of follow the progress enough, but he was really close to getting one of those passing on the inside before the start-finish line penalties. But as they hit turn 3, Harry Codian trying to make that 3 cars deep into turn 3. Here comes Josh Judson with 27 to the top side. the one of Hector Medillin. He's trying to make it happen down low, side by side for the lead off of turn 4.
Josh Justin has a little bit of an advantage coming off of turn number 4 here down through the trial of these guys. These guys coming down through the trial of Josh Justin just barely ahead of Harry Codian. He could leave the top side, come down to the bottom and block Harry Codian. Not going to do so down here in the front straightaway into turn number 1. Again, battling back down to the inside. The 13 of Harry Codian side by side through 1 and 2.
Side by side through 1 and 2. Just trying to walk it up the hill, keep all that momentum there, keep that top lane behind. We see that top lane off of these corners really get a good run. They do so once again. Judson's got that number 27 rolling in the top side. Colburn there, the 070, giving him a great push toward turn number 3. Here comes Cody Ann back to the low side. They'll drag race once again for the lead into 3 and 4. Now maybe almost a 3-wide scenario as looks like that number 1 of a Hector Medillin. He's trying to find room there as well. So this is about to pick up here. Going to put 92 on the board. 3 to go at the line.
Yeah, 3 to go at the line. These guys door checking each other through the trial down the front straightaway. Harry Codian moving up the track just a little bit, taking the momentum. Oh, the 1 car down on the bottom. Can he save it? Those guys scatter. They all save it. They're all righted. No yellow flag here so far. No contact. Number 1 still on the bottom side. Josh Judson, about Harry Codian, all by his lonesome up towards the front. Yellow flag is out. This is going to be a race back to the line. They're wrecking down the back straightaway. Side by side battle. Josh Judson way to the outside in that number 27 machine.
Who's it going to be here? I mean, this is going to be the race for the race right here. Who's it going to be off of turn number 4? Judson up high, Codian down low. They may split it 3 wide once again. The outside lane getting a good pull there. Who's it going to be off of turn 4 racing back to his caution?
Racing back to the caution, side-by-side battle here. Josh Judson and Harry Codian. Looks like Codian at the line. And they're wrecking off the finish line. This may hurt Codian as he may not be able to. Oh, they're flipping carnage here into turn number 1, parking lot style. And oh, boy, what a parking lot.
And that was the race back to the the white and the yellow. So these cars still going to make it one more time around. And that probably wrecked a good 2/3 of the field that was left running at the start-finish line. He just knew the way those guys are racing hard up front. Something was going to break loose and all hell and carnage and chaos was going to ensue. And I mean, that may be the biggest wreck we had all night, but it was for a checkered flag on full velocity. What a humongous crash right there. And I hate to be an admin, Todd, and have to call out who won this thing.
Yeah, that's difficult. As Harry Codian looks like he's going to be able to win this race because he was across that start finish line. He got wrecked after the start finish line. So like I said, he's lucky he's still going. That 13 took a wild ride.
Oh, it is, and I think Race Control looks like gonna do the right thing here as he was first back to the line, racing back. His car was first. He got spun out there as they were, racing hard. Call it a block, call it what it was. I mean, they're racing with a checkered flag, and unofficially, it looks like it's going to be Harry Codian going to pick up the checkered flag for the second time in 3 races. Going to put my pick to win in victory lane, and off of turn number 4, as they work through the trial, checkered flag, yellow flag in hand. Oh, sorry, this is coming to the white right here. White flag going up in the air. So one more time, these guys are going to have to go around. And it looks like, Todd, through all the chaos and smoke, it's going to be Harry Codian finally picking up a win here live on full velocity.
Yeah, that's gonna be great. And we can see his car this time. Harry Codian, we're going to go, I believe, in car with the 13 machine, I believe, during that wreck and see what his sight was. That had to be interesting.
Yeah, you know what, guys? We're going to do something a little bit different here. I saw a guy in the chat box wanting to do it, so we're going to do it. We're going to go in-car with Harry Codian, battling down to the yellow flag here to win this race. We saw him get turned after the fact, and this is probably going to be one wild ride from inside the car. So we're going to throw this thing slow motion. Here comes Harry. We see the 27 battling hard here. They make contact. Harry gets across the line, gets turned in the right rear quarter panel up into the fence, and carnage ensues. You see the 27, and now he just goes for a ride in the cockpit, and it just continues to get worse. This is one of those deals where if you've ever seen an actual NASCAR interview when guys talk about getting airborne and flipping, they say it gets very quiet, and I'm sure this was a very, very quiet feeling for Harry Codian. Praying that that engine was going to stay alive, because I imagine as most of the league rules are, as long as the engine runs, you can get your spot back, but the moment that engine doesn't run and you can't make minimum speed, unfortunately, I don't know that there would have been much that he could have done. So as this carnage continued to ensue, I'm sure he was hoping that the motor was going to stay running, and to his luck, it did stay running, and he is going to finally, after many tries here that we've seen him through DRTV and the Full Velocity Network, he's going to finally get that win and get to come see me down in victory lane, guys. So back up to you in the booth.
I'm just doing the flip count on the 13 there. I believe that was like 7 or 8 flips there. And, not often you see a car win, flip 7 or 8 times coming to that last, sprint to the flag there, Todd, and be able to lift to tell the tale of maybe coming to victory lane at Talladega. But that's exactly what's going to happen here. Off of turn number 4, down through a tribal. Now we could say the starter's got the checkered flag in hand with that yellow flag under the caution flag. It's going to be some fireball whiskey drinking party in victory lane. It's going to be Harry Codian going to pick up the win in the AS Racing Super Speedway Challenge tonight here at Talladega.
Yeah, Harry Codian going to pick up the win. Josh Judson going to finish in that second spot in the number 27 machine. Remember, all the results are unofficial to the admins. Do the official results at the end of this, but this is unofficial results here. Hector Medallion finishes up third. Walt Colburn finishes up fourth. Fifth, Wayne Dinger. And that number 72 machine, the 92 of Ed Vaughn, finishes up sixth. Seventh is the 05 of Ken Smith. Manny Diaz in the 710. He finishes up eighth. Sean Mosley, ninth. 10th, Charles. I'm not even going to call him Charles. Charles Coates it's going to be CC the Cow in the 01. He's finished up 10th. 11th is the 78 of Christian Torres. 12th, the 4 of Robin Hudson. Don Bergen finishing up 13th. 14th, the number 9 of Chris Elliott. 15th, Connor Metz picking up 15th position. 16th, the 38 of Dave Williams. 17th, Larry Coles. The 14, Greg Artlip finishing up 18th. Don Dolson finishing up 19th. 20th to 43 of Bob Dixon. He was our pole sitter, so that's the hard luck award goes to Bob Dixon. 19 positions lost there tonight. Nelson Rodriguez finished up 21st. 22nd, Jeffrey Elliott. 23rd, Carl Ragucci. And finished up 24th to the 88 of David Chin. The other 2 cars I do not see there, Phil. Maybe you can fill those in for me.
That was Audrey Waits in the 426, and also the number 6 of Billy Rose. Those 2 drivers also joined the fray here this evening. And what an awesome race we just saw. I mean, awesome job by all these guys. And, as we'll let Joe go down the victory lane and talk to Harry Codian, and I'll see if we can't talk to Josh Judson. But I'm going to throw it to you there, Todd. I'm going to throw it down to you, and I believe you're going to pick up a Hector Medellin in that number 1. We'll see if we can't talk to him, our third place interview. So, Todd, staying over to you. I'll throw it to you and let you throw to Hector. Down to you, Todd.
I'm down here with our third place finisher, Hector. Hector, how was the racing out there? It looked pretty chaotic.
It was awesome. It was very, very, very tight, and it was a decision on whether, I don't know. It was just follow the car in front of you and hope for the best. Everybody raced really clean, so it was nice. It was a great, great race.
How was your view through that last wreck there? It had to be an interesting view. How did you make it through? Were you a part of it?
Well, I think what happened on the last one is that we went across the line, and I didn't lift at the same time that Harry did, so I ended up pushing him a little bit, and he spun into Ghost.
Oh, it was a good race there, finishing up a podium finish here tonight. At Talladega, it's difficult sometimes to even finish up on this podium. I know I've had some bad luck here, and I'm sure everybody here in the NASCAR 2003 world has had bad luck at Talladega. But bring home a podium finish here. You get to interview with the Full Velocity Network. I mean, that's nothing to be ashamed of here tonight.
I appreciate it. It was a great race, great bunch of drivers, and we can do it again.
All right, Hector, I'm going to give you the microphone. The floor is all yours. Thank whoever you'd like to thank here this evening. Hector, I'm going to give you the microphone. You can thank whoever you'd like to thank. There were some fans down there trying to pull for you, too. So thank you.
Oh, yeah, well, thanks, everybody. It was an awesome race. Thanks for giving me a chance to be here, and it was pretty exhilarating. I'm soaking wet, and I don't know. It was some of the best racing I've done in a long time. So I hope it happens again. And thanks to everybody that was cheering for me up there. It was fun.
All right, Hector. Again, congratulations on your third place finish tonight, and hope to see you here on Full Velocity Network a little bit more.
I sure will. Thank you.
All right, that's our third place finisher, podium finish. Hector finishing up in third. I'm going to throw it to Phil, who's caught up our second place finisher, the number 27.
Yeah, a lot of people would know him as MPRL Ghost, but I'm down here with the number 27 of Josh Judson. And Josh, man, tell us about those closing laps, man. You and Harry having a hell of a win there, back to that, yellow flag there, knowing that was for the win. Tell us about that race, man. That was wild.
Yeah, it was exciting. A lot of fun to drive. My car was really fast tonight, and I really liked the high line. I was able to make some good time up there. I had a lot of help from a lot of different drivers tonight. You couldn't win this race by yourself. It was at the end who you're going to work with, and I had a great push all night from the 70 car of Walt. Probably of all the drivers, and I owe a lot of them some thanks. I'm going to call him out the most. And my buddy Hector there in third place, I've probably known him longer than any other person in the server tonight. And I didn't know what he was going to do, work with me or try to win it himself. And he did what he had to do. I tried to do what I could do to win the race and came up just a little short there.
Yeah, you had that great run off of turn number 4. I knew Harry was going to come up the hill on you. I know he was going to make that close. But, I mean, just what it was there, you had a really good car all night long. And that racing out there, I mean, the high lane was equal to the low side. You guys really put on one whale of a show. And, I mean, I saw you come from the back of the pack a couple of times and come on back forward. I mean, what was that racing out there like mid-pack? I mean, it looked to me you could really put that car anywhere, and just depended on what line you were in to get that great run that you had.
Thanks. Yeah, no, I'll tell you, mid-pack and back of it, it's scary. I didn't want any part of it. I wanted to be as close to the front as I could. And I'm fortunate tonight. One of my struggles is on pit road, but tonight I nailed it. Every single stop right on it, and that made a big difference. I had some good strategy at the end with the, staying out at the right time. A lot of this is just luck and timing, chance and necessity. You put yourself in the right spot at the end, and you give yourself a shot to win. And I did everything I could, just came up a little short.
Well, you got to be happy with that run indeed. Well, Josh, while we have you here, first time we've got you here on the Full Velocity Network, I'm going to give you the microphone, allow you to give a shout out to anybody who may be watching, friends, fans, sponsors, family. I mean, anybody out there whatsoever. The floor is all yours. Give them all a shout out, my friend.
Sure, I guess I'd like to dedicate, well, I can't dedicate a second place, but shout out to my mom, shout out to my friend Alina, shout out to everyone in Manchester, Connecticut, and thanks.
Oh, Manchester, Connecticut. We know where that is. Probably about 45-minute ride from up here in the Northeast Connecticut. Well, Josh, once again, congratulations on a really good run, my friend, and hopefully we do this again soon. You guys really put one great race on. Good job tonight.
Thanks again.
All right, Josh Judson bringing that thing home one spot short, guys, in the runner-up spot, but I'm going to throw it down to victory lane, and I know this is going to be an absolute party down there. Joe Allen's down there in victory lane. I'm sure the Fireball whiskey about to be thrown back, and it's going to be a party down there, because anywhere Harry Codienne goes, Joe, it is going to be a good time, and he's going to be one really happy race car driver down there.
Yeah, well, thank you guys, and definitely Fireball all around. Yeah, I watched it. The two starts before that, I got way out, and they freight trained me. So I tried to lay back a little bit. Still got out a little too far, but was able to stay in front of them there. But what a crazy race, huh? Yeah, thank you. Yeah, my partner Stan and I had a plan. We were going to kind of lay back mid-pack and see how the race unwound, and we kind of expected maybe a big pileup during that first pit stop there, but everybody did a great job and got through it. And so after this halfway point, it was time to work our way back up to the front. So I had a lot of help. Definitely want to thank Stanley there for working with me, and got my first win here at full velocity. How about that? All right, thank you. Yeah, I definitely want to help my, thank my mate Stanley there, and then I have a friend of mine, Guy McGuyan, who was going to be his first race, not only first online race, but first televised race. But his little granddaughter is in the hospital, so definitely have thoughts and prayers for him. And miss him not being here. And then, of course, always we have to thank Wolf GM for everything he's always done for this community. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it. Gonna go watch. I'm sure you guys did a great job again, so looking forward to watching it.
All right, our race winner in victory lane down there. I think Joe's voice is pretty much expired for the night, but great job down there. And I mean, what more can you say there, Todd? Anytime we come over here to AS Racing N2K3, these guys put on one hell of a show, and these guys lived up to it tonight. What an awesome race here at Talladega. I mean, how many times have we come to Talladega and seen great finishes? We got another one here, bud.
Yeah, definitely another great finish, and a wild finish in that matter. Guys flipping it. I've never seen so many flips there at the end, and that's another full velocity. I believe first is how many flips is going on at that track and that big wreck at Talladega. And what can you expect from Talladega? The big one's going to happen, and it happened a couple of times tonight. And those guys are racing hard for that win. And it was nice to see. It was nice to see Harry Codian take down the win here this evening.
Well, it certainly was. And we got, congratulations to Harry. Congratulations to all the guys over here at ASR for doing an awesome job here. And we certainly hope to come back here in the very near future. So congratulations to them. But next up for us here on FEN, back to the FTF Jones Cup Series here a couple nights from now. Sunday night, the Samsung 400K from a Texas Motor Speedway. If you don't like Texas enough, we're going to do it here. Not only Sunday night, but Tuesday night. We return to Hobo Racing, the Lone Star Racing 117 from a Texas Motor Speedway. So a Texas twofer, Sunday night FTF, Tuesday night at Hobo Racing. But if you like twofers, we've got one for you. Also on Tuesday night, a dual simulcast, a very first for us here on the Full Velocity Network. Big Show Promotions, an iRacing group we've teamed up with on Tuesday night. The last 2 weeks, we have had some tremendous racing with the UMP Modifieds at the Linear Speedway. We do that once again come Tuesday night. So going to be a split crew simulcast come Tuesday night. Going to see a group of us over to Hobo Racing, group of us going out to the iRacing world, and you'll have two fantastic full FEN broadcasts here to watch back here or watch live here on Tuesday night. So a lot left to come, and of course, check out our full schedule events on our website, fullvelocitynetwork.com. So for Joe, for Todd, I'm Phil. Thanks for being a part of the ultimate esport experience right here tonight live on the Full Velocity Network. We'll say goodnight, and we'll see you next time.